And I'm ready. No, I'm not ready.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and sorry for a late running Untitled Chat Show. That was completely my fault, because I decided to have 5 minutes sleep, which lasted an hour and a half. We do have a special guest tonight, but before we do that, we've got a little something special to show you guys.
That's presuming that's somebody special to you.
Hello.
And I'm
Yep,
hoping that
that's-
someone special is here. Thank you for the bits and all the chat, by the way. I was really sorry. I was in such a panic trying to get OBS sorted out. I literally just been. So we're all here. We're all here.
Yeah.
I'm
Let
going
me check to see. Can I just check to see if the main person is here?
Yeah.
And yes, the main person is here. So.
Oh, hi, Nightmare. Sorry. Hi, Gabba. Hi,
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Yeah.
Good evening, chat.
Sorry.
Oh, good evening, Jack. Good evening, Mozzie. Good evening, Willie.
So before the main show, we're going to have a little something special. Nightmare, this is for you.
Right.
Oh wow, I haven't seen one of these Hummers in a long time. Look at that. That's one of the old Army editions. He must have got that straight from the Army or something.
Hilo 73 said thank you, Nightmare, from your driving streams. It has always been nice to watch and hang out on your streams.
Gosh.
Shush, DJ.
Abigail 2077 said thanks for all the good streams, Nightmare. I always look forward to raiding your stream and watching you zip around Sweden like a pro in your truck. Free Willy said hey Nightmare, would just like to say thank you all the good times you have given me over the months that you have streamed. I will miss your daily streams, but hopefully you won't be gone for long, so just a small thank you till we meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I am sure we will meet again some sunny day, -0. Fox 1,256,753 said hey Nightmare, it was always awesome to watch your streams. It was an awesome time. Good luck in the future. Camel Case Gaming said thank you Nightmare, I only pop in and out to bug Jack every once in a while, but the messages make you sound awesome. Hope to catch a stream soon.
Look at that crazy guy. He's just...
The Four Links said at Nightmare_share you sir a good egg. Thank you for your streams. They've been a pleasure to watch. Here's to you and all those dumbasses.
He's going down the damn tram road. That idiot. That guy thinks he's a tram.
N.I. Gabber N.I. said Jeremy, thank you very much for all the positive and educational streams. They were always awesome and you always tried to talk to anyone in chat and tried to answer every question asked. Keep your head up and I wish you much luck in the future. Take care, stay positive and keep moving forwards. N.I. Gabber N.I. said smiley face. N.I. Gabber N.I. said I've got a Twix laughing face.
Well, we are back on, and I just wanted to say thank you to Nightmare for the dump truck streams. We know you're going to come on streaming and everything in the future, but yeah, there was a little something. We know this is an end of a chapter, and thank you so much for Big Jack for putting something together at the very last minute, and Yeah, I know. It's emotional, isn't it? It is emotional.
It is like well done, Jack. That
Jack,
was
you're
awesome,
muted.
mate.
I
That was
think you guys
brilliant.
might still be muted.
Sorry, it's
No.
because it was coming over the video if I spoke.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, thank you, Nightmare, and yeah, I
Oh.
got some of the guys together today and wanted to do that, do something for you at least because you weren't
Yeah.
able to stream this last couple of days, so that's just a little thank you from us guys to you as well.
Yeah, and so
Yeah, definitely.
Jack did us grand there, so I'm really pleased. Thank you for
Really
that, mate,
good.
for last minute drop in.
Yeah. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks to you both.
No worries, guys. Thank you.
Really good.
Yeah, so obviously we do have a special guest tonight, and she's waiting patiently. But we wanted to just get have that little tribute first before we dive into the main show. So anyway, we're going to take a very quick break, and don't worry, it literally is only a minute, and then we'll be back with our special guest. Let me unmute. And we are back. So tonight's special guest, and I've really got to not look at my Twitch screen because of the delay, and that really puts me off. But our special guest tonight is the one and only Sassy Sapphire.
Hi.
Good evening. Welcome to the Untitled Chat Show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And before we go into anything, here's a little montage of what you'd expect to see on Sassy's stream.
Pro streamer, people. Pro streamer.
Right, shall I take off my glasses? No, my eyes look horrible. Right. All good. Right. Here she goes. I don't know if I want to see it coming. I don't think I want to see it coming. Oh my god, that was so good. Oh my god. Oh my.
You're so wet, Mummy! You will do.
Wait. Oh my god, Carl, I've done it! No, hang on. Reverse it. Flip back, reverse it. No. Look at that. 4 jobs completed and I didn't roll my truck. Yay! Oh, I got reasonable for that one because, you know, I had a little bit of trailer damage. Just a little bit. Quite a bit. About, for goodness sake, Captain Gents, don't be a cock. I'm going to hit the invisible wall. Where am I going?
I doubt if he'd have been saying good travels to you if he'd seen this.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thank you for the bits. And I'll speak in ASMR for 15 minutes. Speaking of... No! No! Sprinter, you absolute cock! Also, hi Hulk. Hey baby. You lurk away, mate. Alright, Damo. Honestly, you absolute cock sprinter. Can you let me fucking get out of Genoa? You... What's going on? No! Sprinter! Sprinter. We've talked about this. We've talked about you rolling my truck. GG. By the way...
Head back to the spanner because I've got a feeling I'll see you there very soon.
Oh. Are you giving up on me already?
Well, I mean, it looks like from where I am now, like one of your tyres has actually shredded into the barrier, but... Anyway.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that there'll be enough of a glitch. Right, I almost had it then, so I think I need to go back again, like I was. I'm not going to give up, Yellow. I'm not going to give... Okay, engine malfunction. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine, I got this, I got this. It's fine, I got this.
We unmute that. Oh, so this is Sassy Sapphire.
Hi.
Now,
very good.
Obviously, a lot of the clips are you crashing trucks because I think it's the content. People are. We'll touch on this later with Bitbot, etc. So I think you're probably stitched up quite a lot, and people have one click on the Bitbot and another click on the clip button ready. But obviously there's a lot more to your stream. So first of all, tell the audience a little bit about you, what you stream, because I know it's definitely not just trucks, and what got into it.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's totally Sprinter's fault using Bitbot. Why I crash a lot of the time. Just putting that out there now. But yeah, I mean, a year ago, I didn't even know about Twitch. Like, I thought a Twitch was obviously something that happens in your eye. And I became friends with Captain J in real life. Like, we met through mutual friends. So he'd talk about, oh, I stream on Twitch. And that's when I got brought into his stream. And when I fell ill in August with glandular fever, I was bedridden. So it pretty much became the thing that I sort of watched. And then I went into sepsis the end of August and almost died. And in fact, it was Captain Jenks who saved my life. He did say I could tell the story. But yeah, he rushed me to hospital and basically saved my life, because when I got there, they said I was past the point that would normally kill a person. So Twitch and the community became the thing that I would watch in hospital, because I was in for over a week. It became the community that supported me in my recovery, because it was a really long, hard recovery. And that's where my desire came from, doing streaming myself, because I didn't want anyone to feel as alone as I did in those months of recovery. So I do a weekly mental health chat show with my real life friend Owen Morgan, who runs a men's wellbeing mental health company called Mancove. And so that was the original. When I first started streaming, it was mainly the mental health and just chatting. But that was because I was streaming off a really old laptop, so I was really restricted. I couldn't play games and, stream at the same time. So that's how I sort of started my sort of Twitch journey.
Excellent. So yes, I remember the original laptop streams. I do remember them. No, but okay, you say okay, the laptop was old, but it got you on, didn't it? And let's be honest, it got your stream going, it got you talking, it got people to know you, and it worked. And then it gave you the time to build up, because I know you slowly saved up and built an actual the PC you have now, which can play games and do streaming on.
It has two screens. That's why you might see me going like this.
Yeah, no, my other one's right down here. So, but so yeah, you also do sort of a bit of tarot, a bit of a bit of all sorts. So would you class yourself as a variety streamer as opposed to an out-and-out game streamer?
Yeah, definitely. I would never class myself as a game streamer because, as everybody saw from those clips, even though I joke and say it was Sprinter with Bitbot, anyone who comes into my streams know that I don't need Bitbot on to roll my truck. I will do it by myself, and that's how I started on Euro Trucks, was on Captain Jenks's stream after I came out of hospital, and that was pretty much the one thing a week where I would be voice chatting with other people because my daughter Mini Sassy was at my parents because I couldn't look after her because the infection was in my leg, so I sort of came out of hospital in a Zimmer frame and things. So that's sort of how I started on Euro Trucks, and yeah, I've been playing it almost a year, and I'm still as shit as I was the first day I started on it. But I like to be consistent in that. I don't,
Hold on.
I know. What?
I didn't know this. You've been driving trucks for nearly a year.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was on Captain Jenks's multiplayer in August before I went in hospital, and then when I came out.
What do you use as a controller?
Setup?
Oh, go on. Go on. It's connected anyway, so go for it.
I was going to ask that. What is your setup? Are you a mouse and keyboard or
No.
controller?
I've got my my sort of Xbox One controller. So
you've got a nice
I'm
controller.
the only one who uses a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably am. Yeah.
Yeah, but Jack, you still tend to drive better than us. So perhaps mouse and keyboard is actually the answer. Perhaps we should all be using mouse and keyboard.
Well, my main problem is I speed all the time, and especially I speed around those four-leaf clover.
Corners. Oh, yeah.
Obviously bends and corners, but like the four-leaf clover bits is mainly where I always sort of roll my truck. But as you saw, sometimes it would just be like a little bump in the road, and I'll still flip my truck.
I call them the pretzel junctions, I think. The ones with all the bloody curves everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. But the thing is now I feel like it's the thing I'm known for, and it's almost expected. And I've taken this week off streaming, but last week I had a stream where I didn't crash the whole stream, and I actually had people coming to me afterwards and going, well, that was a bit of a boring stream, wasn't it? Because Bitbot wasn't working, so I had Bitbot off, and I didn't crash, and they thought it was a bit dull. So it's funny. It's become my kind of niche to actually do that.
But I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's entertainment, it's content, and if the people in chat are loving it, finding it funny, you're having a laugh, then why not? Just stay off the simulation servers, for crying out loud.
To be clear, I'm always on the arcade servers. Just to be clear, I'm never.
Does your skill at driving lorries sort of follow through to any other games you play? Golf with friends, tennis, anything like that? Are you just as skillful?
Well, you've seen, I was in with you guys on Golf with Friends, and that was the first time I'd properly played it. But yeah, I've always classed myself as an average gamer. I would never say that I'm a sort of expert gamer.
Do you know what, Sassy? I think I'm pretty rubbish at games, and I just really like playing them. It might take me, 28 shots to do a par 3, but I enjoy those 28 shots.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
I'm getting value for money here.
But I think that's the thing, isn't it? That's you have the competitive gamers where they've got to win, they've got to do it, and then you've got us lot that do it for entertainment, for a laugh.
Yeah.
And I just can't get that competitive as much as it's lovely to win. At the same time, it's like I'm actually just having a laugh here. It's fun. It's an escape from the real world.
With my stream, I always wanted a place that people could come to. It was judgment free. If they had mental health problems, even if it wasn't the mental health stream, they could come in and go, "Oh, I've had a really rough day," and actually, I'm giving them content that's just going to make them laugh and enjoyable. I have a member of my community who lives in India, and they purposely stay up. My stream starts at like midnight for them, and they're actually purposely stay up to watch my stream, which is really cool. Yeah, so it's more about giving people just more that entertainment value rather than here's a super serious stream and I'm going to give you all these pro tips. And I always say, if you want pro tips, then there's other more competent streams out there than mine.
Same
but,
here.
yeah.
I mean, I've been playing game for 30 years and I'm still shit. So
Yeah, same. You know, I was playing racing games a lot when I was younger, and I think I had the reactions for them then. I was never an expert gamer. I could win the odd race and stuff when we were playing multiplayer on the old GP2 Formula One games and that. But I think as I've got older, my reactions have definitely got slower, and I don't. And I think I'm just more
does happen,
chilled
yeah.
playing as well. It's just like, you know, we're having a laugh. You know, we put ourselves on that bloody death road last week for a bit of fun, and let's be honest, it really was. I think someone summed it up. It was traffic jam simulator. Because we spent most of the time just sat there end to end, just having a laugh.
There
And
was
I
quite
think,
a few people on there, weren't there?
yeah, well, I reckon there's the
people
best
going
part
up
about
and
200
going down.
trucks all in one place. Because I think it's such a challenge. It is. I've driven it single player now when it's empty, and I've almost gone over the edge. It is still, you know, I'm not going to poo-poo it. It's probably still the hardest road to drive in the Pro Mod server, but it's nothing like when you're trying to pass trucks passing each other when there's a sheer drop down the side. That really does throw the extra challenge. But yeah, we do it for fun, don't we? I mean, this is the whole point, and I totally agree with you with Twitch. To me, there's a lot of people out there, and I'm not going to say lonely people, but people living alone. You know, I've done it for many years, and I wish I had Twitch. I wish I knew about Twitch back then, because you can sit and watch TV. You can even sit and watch YouTube, but it's one-sided. You're just sitting there watching. Where Twitch, you can talk to people, and you suddenly feel, I'm not alone. Actually, there's all these people there, and I can talk to them, and the streamer's talking back to me, and you know, so I totally 100% you know, agree with everything you're saying there about it can be a bit of a lifeline for people, I think. And that sounds over dramatic.
That's why I did it. That's why I started in the work thing, you know, in the lorry in the daytime.
So
yeah,
I
mean, sorry, Karen.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, obviously, I started streaming the start of March, end of February, start of March. So it was about 3 weeks before lockdown. And definitely with our mental health show, we noticed an increase during lockdown of people who were struggling. And not only on stream, but off stream, from people messaging me on Twitter, private messaging me on Twitch. I think Owen and I have helped maybe about 7 or 8 people who were feeling suicidal during lockdown. And that gives you such a good feeling to know that just by talking to them and saying, do you know what, I've got you, it's okay, I'm here, that you can just having your... It sounds really patronising to go listening ears, but I volunteered in a preschool, and you always tell the children, you know, looking eyes and listening ears. But I think as adults, we kind of forget sometimes to be open and listening to other adults, because we get wrapped up in our own stuff. So especially during lockdown, I realised as the weeks went on how important that stream sort of was. And that's why I needed this week off, because I got to my stream last Friday and I was so burned out because I've just been flat out doing it for 4 or 5 months, and I thought I just need a week off because my own mental health was starting to suffer. So that's obviously what it's about as well. It's not just about everyone else's mental health, it's about sort of managing mine as well.
Oh, absolutely. You have to look after yourself, and I think we've all had that phase sometimes where you think, I need to stream. I've got subs. I've got people that have paid money for my content, and I'm just feeling so. I don't know if I can hit that button. I just don't know if I can hit that stream button.
I've had that. Yeah, I think we all have.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
And I think I think you were right to do something like just say, because you planned it. I saw you message went out to Discord, etc. And thank you for the follows. Thank you for the bits, by the way, guys. And thank you for following Sassy. Please make sure you're following Sassy. And I think you did it in a planned way. In a way, you said, right, next week there's going to be no streams apart from I'll be on the show. You put that announcement out, and it gave you a chance to go for a bit. I think.
Yeah, but you know what? It's been such a good week to just not go, because even though I may only stream 2 or 3 hours, I do a lot of stuff in the background every day. I've taught myself. I'm still not very good at it, but I've taught myself like how to do video editing because I'm trying to get my YouTube up together. There's lots of social media side. I've started helping people who are trying to make it as affiliates. So I'm always on Discord chat for people. And then there's people who obviously like to come chat to me about personal problems. So I just try, and I'm always constantly on my phone. And obviously with the situation as it's been, Mini Sassy's hasn't been at school since the start of March. So I've been having to juggle that as well, like schoolwork in the mornings and then trying to find time to do my things. And it, you know, like I said, I just needed a break where when I stream, there's always that deadline of I have to do dinner by this time because I need half an hour to set up to start streaming at this time. So it just kind of freed up my evenings for this week. And I've kind of mentally decided I will take a week off maybe every couple of months, maybe when Minnie's on a half term from school, just to give me that break and sort of just so I've got a week where, you know, I've got my evenings back a bit.
Well, I think everyone deserves a holiday from time to time, and
Yeah.
with everything you're doing, it is like a job almost. You know, like you say, there's a lot going on behind the scenes as well. And I think obviously viewers don't see that. They don't care about that. Why should they care about that? You know, they care about when we're streaming and we're live and we're doing what we're doing. They don't see or need to see really what's going on in the background. You know, and it's like even things like with Jack with his server that's running now and things, the hours spent on getting that running. No one needs to see that. They just need to see, oh, it's changing to a low bitrate warning or whatever when things are running, and that's all they need to see. And it's good if that's the only thing they really know about, because that means we're kind of being quite successful. And in the fact that we don't see what you're doing in the background, we just see the actual is actually a testament to you that it's running smoothly, because we just see the content. You know, we just see the shows.
But this is why Twitch is such an interesting thing, because there is no handbook. Like I've self-taught myself everything. Like Captain Jenks was the one who sort of came round and he was like, "Oh, you need overlays and this," and I was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." Like, what
it's a different language, isn't it?
Like,
it's a different language.
I had to, there's this whole new language, this whole new. Oh, you need a chat box and you need this, and I was sat there and I was like, I don't know, but I had to learn how to do it, because in my first sort of couple of weeks of streaming, like you said, problems would come up and I wouldn't know how to solve them. So, you know, I was watching YouTube videos and things like that. And I just, I've been, in some ways, I've been watching, I don't really watch TV anyway, but I've been watching less of things now. And 9 times out of 10, if I'm watching something, it's to do with improving YouTube content or you know, how to get myself across better, or you know, something more sort of self-improvement type things. But I do still like my shows.
I think we're all still learning, aren't we? You know, when I first found Twitch, you know, I was in a similar position to you and probably everyone else. People mention overlays and you're like, oh, how do I do this? And then you watch some other streams, you're like, oh, that looks pretty cool. I'm going to look into that. How do you do that? I think we're all on a continued sort of search and explore and improve type mission. I think it's what makes the streams interesting.
Well, even down to making such as like your emotes and things like that. People, you know, you're just going to have a big square box if you don't know how to cut around it and what software to use and what sizes you need to upload, that kind of stuff. I know the information is there on Twitch, but how do you resize it? How do you, you know, and going back to what you said about stuff that goes on in the background, you know, a lot of people, you know, most people have got things going on in the background as well, you know, family, work, you know, just normal things like shopping, things that you need to fit in. So in the background, you know, a lot goes on, and then you might have 10, 15 minutes before you go live. You know, there's a lot to deal with sometimes. So again, people don't see that. They only see the stream. You know what I mean?
And I mean, it's things like, you know, Bitbot. I didn't know anything about Bitbot until about 6 weeks ago. And I came across this streamer called Thor the Titan, who's absolutely amazing. And he uses Bitbot. He plays Escape from Tarkov. And he had Bitbot. So it was like people cheer 50 bits and they throw a grenade, which is hilarious if he's in like a small room and, you know, you can blow him up. And so, you know, so once I sort of got involved in his community, he was really helpful in saying, oh, yeah, you know, this is where it is. And you know, because I looked into it, like, could I do this with trucks? Because there's no other streamer out there who's got Bitbot with Euro trucks. You know, a lot of the people who use Bitbot use it for Escape from Tarkov or other games that are played like with the keyboard and the mouse, because it's set up based on what key press, you know, for what command. So that's sort of how it came about. And the same with the emotes. Like I did my emotes myself and at the start, and I'm no artist and they're completely crap to put it mildly. But then Thor's friend does sort of graphic designing and he pointed me in that direction. And the guys did custom emotes and he's currently doing me sub badge emotes and they look awesome and I can't wait to show everyone. He sent me over some pencil drawings this morning and it was really, yeah, I'm really excited about those.
Can you stick your emotes in chat so we can all have a look at what you've got at the
Yeah.
moment?
So I have my tagline when I finish a stream is Sassy's the word. So I've got a little shush one there. And then when I crash for tier 2 subs, I have a crash emote.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And I just try and find the other one. And then for any tier 3s, which I don't have yet, they get the, oh no, that's the other one. Gotta get this pro streamer. They get a high emote. But obviously
That's cool.
I'm really looking forward to everyone's going to have a good chuckle at my sub badges. All I'm going to say it's to do with trucking.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
But you know, what you're saying is, this time last year, I did not know what Streamlabs was. Never even heard of it, or Stream Elements, or any of that.
Yeah.
And I think I did my first stream in December, and it was only December that I learned what Streamlabs was and things like that. So, but yeah, it's just like this massive learning curve. So, can you tell us a little bit about the mental health one? Because I find that really interesting. Because if there's other people doing it on Twitch, I've not seen it. You're the only person, the only show I've seen that's gone down that road and decided to do it. And I think it's a fantastic idea, personally. So tell us about that show and Owen, etc. If you don't mind, and the reasons for it.
So there are other people who do mental health chat shows, Twitch partners, even popular affiliates who have sort of hundreds of followers, and they do it much like this format where they have guests on and things like that. But the thing that was concerning Owen and I, we were having basically Owen's been my real life friend for 12 years, and he sees my dad every week. He does like keep fit with my dad, and Mini Sassy loves joining in because it's normally just as she gets home from school, so she joins in as well. So he and I were having a discussion one week about men's mental health, because there was something, I think it was around January, saying that in the UK, male suicides for the under 40s was like 40% or something, like absolutely shocking. Like, you know, and we were both saying like, well, this is terrible. Like, you know, surely it's 2020. Surely men shouldn't feel like they have to keep their emotions in, or if they're suffering. So he already had his company, Man Cove Wellbeing, which is a men's mental health wellbeing company. So he does podcasts. He speaks to trauma experts, people in those sort of fields. So he has like a YouTube channel, Facebook page, and he basically compiles all the resources so that anyone who is suffering can go to his websites and, you know, be able to find the resources that they need. So when I sort of said about streaming, that was the original idea, because obviously this stemmed from the fact that I was feeling lonely and isolated from when I was recovering from, you know, what I was recovering from. So that's where the idea of it came from. And he was actually with me in person for the first couple of streams. And then, of course, when lockdown happened, we had to do it sort of virtually, or depending on his schedule, like he's just in chat. But yeah, and it just became this thing, and then all of a sudden it wasn't just men's mental health because lockdown happened. We talked about everything, and I found, well, for both of us, one of the hardest things about the mental health chat show is we purposely keep it to 2 hours because for both of us it can be quite triggering because we talk about our own mental health problems, we talk about our own traumas. I have been known more than once to cry on stream, which I find really embarrassing because I don't normally cry in front of people. But people were actually really responding to that, the fact that even though, neither of us are professionally trained or experts, and we always say, go see a professional, but people really responded to the fact that, okay, here's someone who's had an addiction problem and they've come out of it. They know what I'm going through right now. Here's someone who's suffered a trauma, like a physically abusive relationship. They know that thought process. They know how hard it is. They know, they know about having toxic people in their lives. It's it almost just gave them that safe space to talk about it. So I'm always very clear I have a Streamlabs command for my mental health stream where I say, banter, jokes and stuff, they're absolutely fine for my truck streams. But on my mental health stream, it's my one serious stream of the week. There's no coming in, and we don't want to take the subject away from what we're talking about. And yeah, I mean, it just grows organically. Like, I'll be honest, like Owen and I aren't always organized. Sometimes I'm messaging him like 10 minutes before going, oh, should we talk about gender bias this week? Yeah, sounds good, mate. Brilliant. And then, we talk about the gender biases, like, why is it, I think one week we said, why is it okay for pictures of women's boobs on posters? That's okay, but people get offended by a woman breastfeeding in public, and it's like, boobs are boobs. So, we're talking things like that. But yeah, so that's sort of how it started.
Yeah. I think Sap's brought up, sometimes I suppose it can be quite hard because some people do use a banter or joke as a way of getting it out there, I guess, sometimes. And I suppose, you've got to, I suppose it's how you handle that on stream as well, isn't it? If a difference between someone just arsing around and just bantering and someone that actually, when you read into it, they're trying to get out what they have or what they're suffering from, but they kind of almost do it in a bit of a jokey way just because it's their way of them being able to talk about it in some respects.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like some of our streams, we've spent half an hour, Owen and I and everyone in chat talking about what was our favourite films. So it's not always like it's a super strict stream, and we're not going to go, oh, okay, well, we need to, we do try and steer it back to the subject.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it was important that I had, after a couple of my streams, people I didn't know who hadn't followed me message me on Twitch and say, I came to your stream because I was looking for help, but I felt like I couldn't talk in chat because other people were talking about things that weren't related to mental health.
Yeah, of course, it's a fine balance, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely. So it's going to be a fine balance.
Yeah, so that's what we obviously struggle with every week, is just trying to get that balance with everything.
Would you?
Right, can I just interrupt a minute, Mozzie?
Yes, of course.
I've got a question from Gabba.
Excellent.
In the stream, and it's basically for Sassy. What motivates you to be as positive as you are, considering you suffered with sort of mental health and obviously everything else?
Well, the truth is anyone who knows me well knows I'm not what I would class as a positive person. It's something that I'm striving to be, but I'm still on that journey. Like I still get very down, and a lot of you know me well enough now to know that I make self-deprecating jokes. I even had a friend say to me just before I came on stream, he was like, you'll be great, just don't make any self-deprecating jokes about yourself, because I use humor as a way to I'm sort of like, if I make a joke of myself first, then if someone else sort of makes a joke about me or my weight, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like a defense mechanism almost.
Yeah, because especially when I first started streaming, obviously I was getting all the trolls in and all the fat jokes, and it almost stopped me streaming. And it was only down to my 2 mods at the time, Captain Jenks and Danny Wiseman, and they were like, well, look, you know, take a bit of a break, but don't stop, you know, don't let them, you know, don't let them get to you. Yeah, so it's hard, you know, like, I mean, and I'm really oversensitive, so it's not possibly the best thing to put myself out there, but I just feel like just because I'm oversensitive, it doesn't mean I shouldn't be on camera trying to help other people who might be oversensitive and have sort of issues as well. So the very long answer to your question is I try to be positive, but I wouldn't ever class myself as a positive person.
Right.
you-
Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course you can.
The that website you was talking about earlier, where all those resources are available.
Yeah.
Would you be willing, if any, would you recommend those to people? And if so, would you be able to maybe pass that information on to us guys so that we could maybe make that available, you know, through the announcement pages on our Discord? So if there's anybody out in our community that, you know, could do with some advice or help, would you be willing to do that for us?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I did have everything on my channel page. I had to take it off because Owen just asked me to, because we're just rejudging his information. So it will be back on my channel page by the time I get back streaming on Monday. This is on my list of jobs I'm doing in the background. But on, you know, I'm happy to put it in people's Discords as well.
Yep.
I've also, in my Discord, I've got a Wellbeing Wednesday channel, so people can just pop in there if they've got any problems, or just say, oh, I'm feeling a bit down today, or whatever, you know, oh, I'm really struggling to stay sober, or, you know, just anything like that. Then Owen and I, because he's in my Discord as well, can pop in. And then obviously people know that they can always message me privately as well. So
No, that's
yeah,
excellent.
I just try my best to save the world, heal the world.
I'm more than happy to have it into my Discord, etc. as well, and put things up, because I think it's really important. You know, it was only 1 week ago where we unfortunately was discussing a streamer that had committed suicide.
Yeah.
So, you know, it happens. You know, we're all human beings, and I know why Gabba is asking that question. You know, his whole stream is based around team positive, being positive, having a laugh, and that, because, you know, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying it, because it's on his description of his Twitch. You know, he's got some real shit goes on with his life and his health and things. And again, I think this is his right. Fuck it, I'm not going to get beaten by this. And I feel you've got the same kind of attitude almost. It's like, I'm not going to be beaten by this. I'm going to be beaten by trolls. I'm going to be beaten by that. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to stream, and I'm going to have a fucking laugh doing it. You know. And
well, one of the things Captain Jenks always says to me is he's become like my best friend. So he's the person. He's like my rock and the person I cry to and stuff when I'm having a bad days. Because as a single parent, especially during lockdown, it's really hard just not having another person to, like, another adult to kind of, when you're worried or stressed, to sort of bounce off of. So he's like my person. And whenever I get down, his go-to remark is always like, look, you know, he's like, look, you almost died last year, but an infection didn't kill you. He goes, I could throw you into a fire and you still wouldn't die. Like, you know, he's like, you're a strong person, you know, nothing can, he's like, if you did die from that, he goes, you're pretty much set for life. Like, nothing's gonna sort of try to get you down. So
it's also handy that he's very good at rolling his trucks too.
Yeah. Well, that's where I learned it from. Where do you think I learned it from?
It was only the other night I clipped him doing so.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you live near Captain Jenks, or are you quite far apart?
We did, because we're in his old place, we were about 45 minutes away, and then obviously he's moved over to Wales now, which I never forgave him for, because he's technically moved further away. So, and then obviously lockdowns happened, so we haven't physically seen each other in person until this week was the first time in about 4 months. So that was nice as well, because I was like, another human. You know, like, I mean, I love Mini Sassy, but there's only so much talk about Super Mario, which he loves, that after 4 months that I can do.
Thank you for the bits, Gab. I really appreciate it, man. I love you lots. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, speaking as
So,
someone that has suffered from anxiety, mental health issues in the past, and I'm pretty open about it. I've never tried to cover it. You know, I had a meltdown after this show a couple of weeks ago. Not on stream, but after the show. I think sometimes you can surprise yourself that you're stronger than you actually believe yourself that you are. And I think, you know, and you're proving that as well.
Yeah.
You're stronger than you think you are. And, you know,
Like for me, sometimes it's I've been through a lot, so I know I can deal with a lot. But you know, I'm turning 40 next year, and especially like this last week, I get to the point where I'm like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of doing it by myself. I'm so tired of, you know, it's like I just want someone to help me with the birds. You know, I just want to know that someone's got my back and I'm not doing it myself. But like I said, I kind of have my little, you know, cry and my little sort of drama. I mean, the same as you, Mozzie. Like sometimes I'll finish streaming and I'll just be in floods of tears, you know, and or sometimes even the opposite. Like I'm in floods of tears 10 minutes before I go live, and then I'm like, "Oh, hi everyone! Look at me! I'm this happy person." But actually, I'm not feeling it on the inside. But then, because I force myself to stream, actually, because my chat is so great and stuff, I do end up feeling better by the end of the stream. So that's why I'm always very open about the fact my mental health stream is a two-way street. It's not about me helping other people. They're also sort of helping me as well. Like I get a lot back from it myself.
Absolutely. Well, you've just had a compliment from our Innovic. Look, you said you look younger.
Oh, thank you.
Well, can I just interrupt there, Sassy?
Cool.
Because I want to like bundle in of just what you've said. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I've dealt with mental health for the last 12 years. Not on my side, on my wife's side. I'm a full-time carer for my wife. And the people here at the moment, all the hosts and all the other people in the chat that stream, they help me along every day to deal with what I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't for you lot, you know what I mean? It's just me and me little bubble. You know what I mean? And like I say, I don't broadcast the fact that obviously I'm a full-time carer and my wife deals with a lot of depression and stuff like that. But you know what I mean? If it wasn't for you, Lord, I don't think as a carer I would physically get through my day. So I can see what you're saying, where it's a two-way thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, the chat's helping the streamers, but the streamers don't realise how much they're helping the people in there. Because like you say, we can see you, but you can't see us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? And as I say, I appreciate all of yous when you do put the time into stream and do what you do, even though on the inside you're suffering yourselves. And like at the end of the day, we help yous, but yous don't realise how much you help us as a streamer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
So
thank you, Willie.
that's
I
all.
agree
That's
as
all I
well.
want to say.
No, it's fine, mate. And I totally, I can only agree with that sentiment.
I've got a question for you, Sassy. You said a few minutes ago that we've just got out of lockdown and you met up with Captain Jenks, and that was just fantastic. Can you describe sort of what you did for 12 weeks with your daughter? You know, how did the week sort of go? You know, did you make some sort of magical play dens and some strange cookery type things?
No.
You know, what did you get up to?
No. See, I'm not Mary Poppins. It was really, really hard. Because Mini Sassy, basically my parents live 10 minutes away. Before I got ill last year, I was working full time and they do all my sort of childcare for me. So she's used to going and staying over there like tonight, like 2 nights a week. So when lockdown happened, I wasn't getting, normally I would have that at least one night a week break, because I'm still, from the sepsis, I've been left with fibromyalgia, which is extreme fatigue, and I get chronic pain. And depending on the day, the fatigue or pain varies. So when lockdown happened, the first couple of weeks, we were brilliant. We were like school in the morning, it was regimented, and she did all schoolwork, and it was fantastic. And I think it was on Good Friday. So, we're sort of into April now. And I ended up I cracked my tooth. I sort of bit into something and I cracked my tooth, and I got an abscess in my mouth. And because my immune system's still recovering from the sepsis, within 12 hours, I was basically going back into early stages of sepsis again. And I had to have a round of antibiotics. And so I spent about 3 weeks of lockdown, and I was really, really ill. And it was hard for me because normally when I'm ill, I would send Mini Sassy to my parents because I wouldn't want her to see me like that. And especially after she'd seen me in hospital, she's got a lot of anxiety now about me dying. She doesn't, she's very sort of clingy because she's only sort of 7. So during lockdown, I'm there with a raging fever, and she just goes and gets a flannel, and she held it to my head until my fever broke, and she ended up having to look after me. And as a parent, that makes you feel really shit. It makes you feel really shit that you're having to be looked after, like you're not able to be that sort of pillar of strength. So it was hard. It was hard for sort of both of us, but we did have good times as well. Obviously the weather was nice, so in the afternoons we used to just chill out on the lawn, do a bit of sunbathing, and just listening to music. And
you could also look at that you're already bringing up somebody that's sort of very level-headed and very caring and sort of knows what to do.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
She's really good. Like we've
wouldn't be able to do that without your influence, of course.
Oh God.
So.
But yeah, we were so regimented with school and everything, but we've kind of, it was the heat wave week a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of said, look, we know the weather's going to be nice this week. We live in a terraced house, and we're the middle terrace. It's going to get hot. So I said, no school this week, but we kind of agreed to do schoolwork on and off over the summer. So I went from, I was so stressed about it at first, whereas now I'm a lot more laid back, and we're just taking more that laid back approach. So we have done baking, and she's growing sunflowers in the garden, and it's a bit better now that we can visit my parents and she can stay over. But yeah, it was really hard for like the 12 weeks of sort of lockdown, and that's why my streaming schedule changed, because originally I was streaming in the day when she was at school, and it had to change to evenings because it just wasn't working in the day when she was here.
I think a lot of streamers over the last 12 weeks have had a lot of changes to their stream, haven't they? Whether it's just the usual work stream isn't happening because they're not working, or they've been, there's just been a lot happen over the last 12 weeks. I've sort of seen it on Twitch that look at Hitch. He's used to hitchhiking right around the world, and then suddenly there's virtually no cars going anywhere. So he's done well, I think, in creating his new cycling stream.
Yeah, I think people are adapting, aren't they?
Yeah. Time kind of heals, doesn't it? And we're all developing new ideas and concepts, and I suppose going forward to the new world.
But I mean, that's why, when I started streaming, I purely did just chatting streams. And like I said, that was because of the laptop, but originally that was the road I wanted to sort of go down. But I didn't feel, not only when I was getting the trolls in, which did knock my confidence, but I just felt so uncomfortable just sat chatting to like almost it's an empty room, isn't it? When you're on your chatting, it just made me feel really uncomfortable because I wasn't really doing anything else. So in some ways you feel more exposed than if you're playing a game or sort of doing something. So that's why once I got the new computer, I switched to gaming streams, and I feel a lot more comfortable, and I feel like I'm more myself now than I was in those early streams. I felt like almost I was pretending to be someone I wasn't with my early streams.
It is a weird thing to get used to, isn't it? I mean, again, what you said about developing, I've done the same. My streams were going to be IRL. That was it. I got into the IRL bug. That was all I was going to do. And then COVID came along and went, fuck off. Replan. You're not going to be walking around in public areas around London and things for any time soon. So find something else to do.
You also get prolonged periods of shite weather.
Yeah, long periods of shite weather. And people go, but you got a GoPro. Yeah, but I've got the side off it and power banks plugged into it, which suddenly doesn't make it as waterproof as it would be under normal conditions. But like you say, you just have to develop, don't you? There was one message that was highlighted from Gabba, and I just want to read that. He said, I really admire your positivity, Sassy Sapphire, and I hope you'll be able to stay on this path. Much respect. It's about who you are, not where you're from, what you look like, what you do. My opinion is you're an amazingly strong woman, and I think he meant to say, I take my hat off to you. So there you go. There's a good positive message there from chat.
Thank you.
So obviously we've talked about some of the negative stuff, and we're always going to get trolls. Trolls come in. It's as simple as that. It's going to happen. That's why we have our amazing mods usually, just to jump all over them and stamp on their balls when needed to. Yeah. But tell us about some of the fun things. Tell us about the positive. Because let's be honest, if it was all crap, you wouldn't still be hitting that stream button right now. There's things that bring you to this. To Twitch, and the fun, the laughter, and your community, because you do have a great community from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, it is the community. Like, so I can't remember who said it earlier, but this is for me the only real contact apart from my mum and dad, who I love them if they're watching. Hello, but it's nice to talk to other adults of a similar age. And Twitch is my only means of doing that. Even if, lockdown and all of this wasn't happening, I would still be in my bubble of, working part-time and things like that. So like I said before, it's a two-way street, but I have been a variety streamer. So I've been playing different games because I've just been trying to hone in on what I wanted to do. And like I've said, I've really found that doing trucks with the BitBot seems to be the thing that not only gives my chat and community the most amount of sort of joy messing with my game, but it also makes me laugh and smile, because in my head I'm like, right, I'm going to take this job and I'm going to get there. And obviously you never know when all of a sudden my truck's going to swerve, and it's...
How do you deal with that? Was that the weirdest thing when you first installed that program? Now, I'm going to be honest, I would never put that on. But the fact is, you're driving along the road and suddenly your truck just has a mind of its own. I mean, does it even still shock you sometimes, or make you jump, or
Yeah, have you watched my stream? I mean, like in real life with driving, I swear.
Oh God, tell me you haven't got it on your real car.
I'm just saying that Mini Sassy, and this makes me sound like a really terrible person, she's so used to, we'll have a song in the car and I'll be like, singing the song, and then I'm like, move your arsehole, and then go back to singing the song. Like, she's used to sort of my road rage. And it's the same with trucks. Like, there was one stream where Daddy Wiseman and Sprinter, unbeknownst to me, were talking to each other in Discord and coordinating when the best time would be to use BitBot. And I think you were in there as well.
I was watching that.
And every time I was doing these Genoa bridge jobs, and all I wanted to do was get out of Genoa, but you have to go through a tunnel. So every time I got into the tunnel, Danny or Sprinter would just go, cheer bits. And as you saw in one of the clips, I'd go in the tunnel, flip my truck.
Yeah, they've got to get the timing right. And they're quite good at getting the timing right, because there's always a delay between you and Twitch itself. So they put some thought into that day.
They did. They're very proud of themselves in chat. So I was swearing like a trooper at both
Coordinated
of them.
attack.
Yeah.
Did you get out of there in the end? I can't remember. Did you actually
No.
ever get out of that town in the end?
No, I didn't. They've traumatized me so much that I haven't done any jobs in Italy since. I think I've only done one job in Italy since. But I mean, also at the time, I was taking external contract jobs. So that meant if they rolled my truck, I'd lose the job. So that was frustrating as well. Whereas now I take freight market jobs. So it doesn't matter how many times they roll me, I will deliver the product. It's just not going to be in any reasonable condition. But that's what makes it funny as well. It's sort of like at what level.
What state is that load going to be in when you actually get it to the destination?
By the time we get there. So I actually find it's more amusing now doing it that way rather than, finding a job. Oh no, I've lost that job. Got to find somewhere else. Like it's actually better to go, right, I'm going to take this chicken all the way to Milan. And of course, by the time it got there, it was chicken soup because, they rolled me so much.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot take the piss at all. It was only, I think, last week, whatever, I dropped a job off that cost me €8,000. It went into the minuses, as in that actually cost me money to drop that load off.
How does a job cost you money?
I damaged the load. I think the trailer load was about 100% damage. Because I flipped it.
Oh, is that a similar thing with you then, Sassy? The more you roll it and the more the chicken turns to soup, then your chicken goes from £1 to 50p.
It was with that job, it got to the point of I was 3 towns away or 3 cities away from where I needed to deliver it. And they kept rolling me. So then I'd have to be towed to the nearest town. So then I'd go to the nearest town and I'd be driving out of that town and then they'd roll me again. And then I got towed to the next nearest town. And I was basically just bunny hopping all the way through Europe to my job rather than actually driving it. But every time they take even though you've had your truck fixed, they take into account how much damage your trailers had and the trucks had with that,
and the contents of the actual load itself.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot of fun, and I get a lot of fun.
I still reckon you need Pro Mods installed because they've got an arcade server, and I'd love to take. Honestly, that Devil's Death Road with Bitbot. Bear in mind, it's a rock one side, it's a sheer cliff the other.
Yeah.
Oh, I am going to get Pro Mods, but only like you said on the arcade.
Yeah, they've got an arcade server. It's all cool.
Yeah.
So it is something I'm looking into. I've just got Mini Sassy's birthday in September, and I promised her a Nintendo Switch Lite because I was meant to get it for her last year, but I was in hospital like the week before her birthday last year. And bless her heart, she's been saving. She saved her birthday money last year, her Christmas money. She's been saving her pocket money, and she saved up £90. So, like, my mum and dad are putting in £100. I'm putting £100, and she's saved up like £100 herself. So,
but don't forget, Pro Mods is free.
I didn't know it was free. I thought you had to pay for it.
Nope. As long as you've got all the maps, it's free.
Okay. You got all the expansion maps, yeah.
Yeah, as long as you've got the maps. You don't have to have every piece of DLC, but you do have to have all the maps for Europe. And if you've got the maps, it's free.
Oh, that's all right then. I thought you had to pay for it. That's why.
No. It's free of charge. So, other things you do, of course, and we've touched on it very slightly, are things like astrology and things like that. How does that go? Do you still do those streams, or?
I'm interested in that, but I need to go and get a drink.
Yeah, that's fine. Well,
Yeah,
do we want a quick 5 minutes to top up our drinks, and then we'll touch on the astrology parts? How does that sound?
Yeah, that's fine.
Everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to throw you all back to the beer back just for 5 minutes, and we're all going to get ourselves some refreshment, and we'll be right back.
Let's do it.
And we are back. Over to you, Willie.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good
And
evening,
thank
Willie.
you-
Good evening.
Hi, Willie.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. I would just like to say before we start, thank you for the magnificent hosts, which are Red Mozzie, DJ Technique, and Big Jackass,
I love you, Willie.
for basically doing this every week. And thank you, Sassy, for coming on as a guest.
Oh, thank
Also,
you, Willie.
one big thing. Thank you, Nightmare. Love you loads, mate. Look forward to the fishing streams. Right. Here we go. Right. The quiz. And we will start off with question 1. Venetian blinds that's good.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, mate. Quite a few times, to be honest. Venetian blinds oh, forget it. Venetian blinds
Originated?
No, forget it. Venetian blinds were invented in which country? All right. Venetian blinds were invented in which country?
You know what they say about Venetian blinds? If it wasn't for them, it'd be curtains for all of us.
There would be, mate. Yeah, absolutely would be.
That was terrible.
It's a proper dad joke, that is.
Right.
No, you know.
19 are going to be wrong.
Yeah, now you know how the quiz goes, Sassy, so you've got nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Question 2. A poult
Phoenicia.
is the young of which creature? A poult.
Poult?
Is the young of which creature?
I know this one.
Well, write the answer down then if you know it. Question 3. Which group recorded the original Light My Fire?
Oh.
Question 4. In an English trial, how many people sit on the jury?
On an English?
On an English
Jury.
trial,
Trial.
as in if you're in a big trial, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're down for murder. How many people sit on the jury? This is the one I've been looking for. Question 5. Marcel Desailly was a World Cup winner playing for which country?
I'm just guessing on these.
And can I just interrupt? Chat, if you know the answers, please don't put them in. Just random answers, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
joke
know
answers
the
only.
score anyway. You know the score. Question 6. Which great soprano earned the name of the Divine? Which great soprano earned the name La Divina?
I'm just putting joke answers in for most of these, I'm just saying.
Question 7. What measure of paper is 8 by 10 inches?
So is 10 inches about that, yeah?
Well, according to us
Well,
blokes, yeah.
It depends, you know what I mean?
I've been
we all blokes here, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We do exaggerate.
Repeat the question one more time.
Yeah. What measure of paper is 8 by 10 inches? Question 8. On a standard European roulette wheel, which number appears on the green?
On the green?
I know that one.
On a standard European... Well, yo, you've won already, Sassy. To be honest, if you know that one, you won. On a standard roulette, European roulette wheel, which number appears on the grain? Question 9. What number is dos in Spanish?
I'm actually trying this time, which is going to be even worse.
No.
Well, I got a really low score. I shouldn't admit to that. I'm doing joke answers. I'm not even trying.
Question 10. In which game do you draw part of the gallows for every wrong answer?
Say it again.
In which game do you draw part of the gallows for every wrong answer?
Oh. Fuck me, I got one right.
Question 11. Bright's disease affects which organ of the body?
Rights.
Bright's disease affects which organ of the body? Question 12. What name is given to a garden which has geometrical arranged beds and small hedges?
That's got a name?
What? Say that again.
What name is given to a garden with geometrical arranged beds and small hedges? Okay, question 13. Who sang with the what? I'm going to post this in the chat. There's always one, so copy. Question is in the chat. Didn't know.
Who sang Dakota?
Right. Question 15. Which actress said, "I want to be alone"?
14.
No. What? Oh, sorry. Yes. Sorry. With that, take another drink.
That is
Question
13,
14.
isn't it? No, it's 13.
No,
Yeah.
13 was. Yes, this is 14.
13.
Oh, something's gone
was
wrong.
who
13
sang
was the
with...
garden.
No.
No, it wasn't.
13.
It was the.
Howie lads, keep up.
What was 13
Question
again?
Was who
13.
sang with the Dakotas.
That was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Question 14, sorry.
Sorry, really.
In which century was 1658? In which century was 1658?
Trick question.
Question 15. Which actress said, "I want to be alone"?
So 15 was which actress was I Want to Be Alone?
Yes.
Which actress?
Which actress said, "I want to be alone"? It's in a famous film. She was not English.
Oh.
Question 16. How many kings of England have been called Philip?
I know that one.
Well, you definitely won. That's two you got right. So you've done them straight away. Right. Question 17. How many stomachs does a cow have?
I think I know that one.
Question 18. With which swimming stroke do races begin in the water? With which swimming stroke do races begin in the water?
Depends on the race.
Yeah. With which swimming stroke do races begin in the water? God. Question 19 is going in the chat. Because I can't pronounce that word.
Butt-stroke. Penis stroke.
There you go. Question 19 is in the chat. Here. Question 20. Which city in the world has the largest population? Which city, not country, city in the world has the largest population? And that concludes your quiz for this evening.
That was a good one. Good mixer.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that quiz actually. I feel reasonably positive that I may have
well, that's
over
it.
5.
I don't.
Well done.
I don't feel
Okay.
positive, but I enjoyed it.
I think I've got maybe 2.
Thank you for the bits. Willie, you've had 3
no,
bits.
I
no,
hope I
Sassy,
haven't
no.
spoke too soon saying that I might get over 5.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll get any.
I haven't got many, but I enjoyed the quiz, if that makes sense.
I enjoyed the quiz, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did absolutely shite, if I'm honest. What we're doing?
Okay.
We're going straight into the answers?
Well,
We
yeah,
can do if you
it's up
want.
to you guys. We've just had a break anyway, so I'm
Yeah.
happy to
Happy.
dive in.
Yeah.
Right, fair enough. So, we shall continue with the answers. Once I've done something I need to do.
I'll turn the porn off, Willie. I told you about this on stream.
I know, but it's lagging me computer a bit, mate. I've got to do it.
He's got himself virused up there.
You know what I mean?
Those dodgy sites.
It's got to be done.
It's all right writing
Right.
that, Mike, but can you say it? Can you say it, Sassy? You're over that way.
No. I'm on the English side. I'm not on the Welsh
Yeah.
side.
All right, boyo.
Well, that was taking the piss when they named that one, though. Let's face it.
It actually
They just
describes the town. I had a Welsh friend that said it means it literally says like the church on the hill by the. It literally is apparently an explanation in Welsh of what's there.
Right.
If they did that to Leicester, they'd just say shithole, toilet.
Right.
Yep. Over to you, mate.
Gentlemen and Sassy.
Lady.
What's that about? Gentlemen and Sassy.
Yeah, because they
DJ,
gentlemen,
of
you're
course.
a lady. You know what I mean?
All right then.
You're definitely a lady.
Lady.
Yeah,
Stop
I
there.
was like,
Right.
like, I'm
No,
sure I
you're
was,
a lady.
last time I checked.
They're just the hosts. Okay. Right. Question 1. Right. I will ask the question, and then I will ask for an individual answer from everybody. Right. I don't want you to all answer at once. I will do it in per person so we can get it right.
Film.
But no, I didn't put any full of ones in, Jack. I checked this way. Venetian blinds originated in which country? Mozzie.
I'll put Italy because it sounds Venetian, sounds Italian.
Right. DJ.
Italy.
Jack.
Exactly the same. I put Italy because it sounds Italian. It's probably not, but
Sassy.
Persia.
The correct answer is Persia.
Oh, here we go. Trots time. This
did
is
I get
this.
half a point for not being in England?
Right.
No. Okay.
Question 2. right?
Yep.
Appalled is the young of which creature? DJ.
Rabbit.
Jack.
Innovic.
Sassy.
Turkey.
Mozzie.
I put ghost, like poltergeist.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I can see your logic behind that, Mozzie. Yeah,
I thought about
can.
it. I did put some thought
Yeah,
into it.
You did. You did put some thought in it. The correct answer is turkey.
Oh, I'm gonna get a trouncing.
Damn.
I'm gonna get a trouncing.
I would have got
Again.
that if I'd known it.
Question 3. Which group recorded the original of Light My Fire? Jack.
I couldn't think of anything. The only thing that popped into my head was the Kinks, and that's like way later.
Right. Sassy.
The Doors.
Muzzy.
Yeah, I put the Doors.
DJ.
Yeah, I'll put the Doors.
The correct answer is the Doors.
Got one. I got one.
I'm
Come on, baby, light my fire.
Question 4. In an English trial, how many people sit on the jury? DJ.
11.
Mozzie.
On the jury, there were 19. No, 19. Sorry.
Oh, God. Sassy.
12, because 12 Angry Men, like the film. It's one of my favourite films.
Jack.
I put 11 as well, strangely enough.
Oh, well. Well, the answer, you may be shocked at it. It is 12.
I thought it'd be an odd number just so that
No,
they
no, it's 12.
so they can get defining.
No, they've got to get 10 and they've got to get 10 and 2.
All right, but it was close.
Yeah, they've got to get 10 and 2.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Right, question 5.
Sorry.
Marcel Desailly was a World Cup winner playing for which country? Mozzie.
Scotland. I don't know why. I just put Scotland.
I
don't even know why I put it.
know.
Even in Poland.
I fully understand. It's all right, mate. DJ.
France.
Jack.
I don't know why I put Brazil.
Sassy.
Well, I thought it sounded French, so I put France.
The correct answer is France.
We are being destroyed once again by the guest.
Question 6. Which great soprano earned the name La Divina? DJ.
Didn't answer that one.
Jack.
Tina Turner.
Yay.
Mozzie.
I can't remember which one it was out of the two, so I put Jedward.
Sassy.
The only person I could think of was Liberace.
Right. The correct answer was Quarato.
No.
I thought he was a detective.
You haven't got a. It's all right. We'll move on.
Okay.
No, wait there. Question 6. Sorry. Oh, right. Sorry. I'll
See,
go again.
Jedward.
It was.
I agreed. It
I
should have been
know.
Jedward.
It was Mariara Salas.
Oh,
That was-
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have read it wrong there. Right. Question 7 then. What measure of paper is 8 by 10 inches? Mozzie, I'm coming to you last. DJ.
I think it's A4.
Right. Jack.
I put newspaper.
Right. Sassy.
I put A5.
Mozzie.
Yeah, I put A5, but I changed it to A4, so I'm going to have to stick with A4, but I'm thinking it's A5.
Right. The answer is quattro.
A5.
No, but it's no. But,
Well, quattro's 5, isn't it?
It doesn't matter. It's the answer I've got. So,
but we only
you
do
know,
in English sizes.
No, that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm giving you the answers I've got.
Well, I got it wrong anyway. But I think
you did.
I bet
Yeah.
you'll find that translates to A5, which I think Sassy got right.
It
Oh, quattro's
really
4.
Yeah, 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's A4. So you were all. It doesn't matter.
Well, does that mean I got it
Right.
right then if I put A4?
No, you didn't. No.
Who the hell ever
Right.
calls it Quattro? Do you? Oh, can I have a box of
Question-
Quattro, please, people?
Question 8.
By the
On a
way, I work in the
standard-
print industry.
Whoa.
Just so you know.
I know, but you still got it wrong, mate. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry you got it wrong.
That one's bullshit. Go on.
I know it is, mate.
Go on.
Right. Question 8. On a standard European roulette wheel, which number appears on the green? DJ.
0.
Jack.
0, I put.
Muzzy.
42.
Sassy.
0.
The
correct answer is 0.
Oh, fuck, I got one
Spot
right.
the fucking gamblers, chat. Spot the fucking gamblers.
Yeah,
That's all I'm going to say on that one.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
He's
Yeah,
not
I was
wrong.
wondering.
He's not wrong.
That
Yeah,
number's a bit of a
that's-
mouthful, Sap.
That's definitely the one that would make the gamblers, that one. Right. Question 9. What number is dos in Spanish? DJ.
2.
Muzzy.
2.
Sassy.
2.
Jack.
9.
The correct answer is 9.
What?
No, it's not. It's really, it's 2.
I said it. 1, 2, 3.
I
It's 2.
couldn't remember the question, so I put 9.
I just made something up.
Yeah, it is 2.
Well, I don't know, Tate. Well, 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. So technically, it was right.
Question 10. In which game do you draw part of the gallows for every wrong answer? And if you all don't get this right, then I'm quitting.
You keep quitting, giving up, mate.
I'm quitting.
Fucking
DJ.
Hangman.
Muzzy.
Hangman.
Jack.
Connect 4. No, I put Hangman.
Sassy.
Hangman.
Correct answer.
I was going to say I was quitting if you didn't get that one right. Question 11.
Willie rage quits halfway through the stream.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck this
You
shit,
don't
you a
get
bunch
to-
of idiots.
Yeah. You don't get to know the next 10 correct answers.
Yeah, but I have to all sit there and Google.
Question 11. Bright's disease affects which organ of the body? DJ.
Lungs.
Muzzy.
Penis. I had to get it in, sorry. I had to get
Oh.
I had to get it
It's
in.
all gone downhill. Sorry, Chad. You know what I mean, bud.
The Willie.
Jack.
Yeah, see, Sap said the Willie as well.
Jack.
I put heart.
Sassy.
I've watched enough Grey's Anatomy to know it's
It's what?
the kidneys.
So you cut out for a
Correct answer is penis. No, it's kidneys. It's definitely kidneys.
If I'd have got that right, you'd be laughing on the other side of your faces.
Question 12. What name is given to a garden with geriatrical arranged beds and small hedges? Jack.
Savage Garden.
Savage Garden.
Sassy.
I love that joke to the moon and back.
Oh my god. A knocked garden.
Muzzy.
OCD.
Too much time on their fucking hands garden.
DJ.
Maze.
The correct answer is, I can't believe somebody got this right, is a nut garden.
A what?
A nut.
Not garden.
K-N-O-T, as in nut, as you make
As
with
in,
ropes.
my
Wow.
mum's a gardener, so I know.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
I'm a gardener.
I can't
It's
believe
my-
DJ didn't get it.
Not a Savage Garden then.
This was
That's
your
why I
question,
could-
DJ.
No, it's definitely not Savage Garden, mate. No. Question 13. Who sang with the Dakotas? I
Mhm.
hope I pronounced that right.
Who sang with
Right,
the
DJ.
Dakotas?
Yeah.
The
Didn't
Dakotas.
get an answer.
Savage
You
God.
didn't get an answer. Right, Muzzy.
Well, I put Stereophonics because I thought you said who sang Dakota.
Yeah, I would have
No,
put.
who sang with the Dakotas? Jack.
I put Bill Murray.
Sassy.
Tom Jones, because he's collaborated with everyone.
True.
Right. The correct answer was Billy J. Kramer.
Oh no, I don't know who he is.
I don't even know who that is.
Tip of the
Have
tongue,
you
that one.
noticed with Tom Jones as well? You know he sang with everyone because he names drops like when he was on those shows. All he did was name drop. When I was singing with so and so. When I was singing with so and so.
Question 14. In which century was 1658? Jack.
17th.
Sassy.
17th.
DJ.
17th.
Muzzy.
17th.
The correct answer is the 17th
Yay!
century.
Get in there.
Question
I'll copy it.
Question 15. Which actress said, "I want to be alone"? DJ.
I've heard that kind of saying, but I just put Marilyn Monroe.
No way.
Muzzy.
I put Marilyn Monroe as well.
Sassy.
Greta Garbo.
Jack.
Yeah.
I put Miss
Monica
Betsy,
Lewinsky.
but that was before the scandal, and then she ended up just becoming one of my mods.
All right. I thought you wouldn't have put Tina Turner, to be honest.
No, she's
The
been.
correct answer was Greta Garbo.
Oh. Soon as you said Greta Garbo, I thought, oh yes, yeah. Monica Lewinsky.
Question-
Miss Betsy will disagree,
Yes.
and you'll find out on Monday. Trust me. You're all going to pay.
Question 16. How many kings of England have been called Philip? DJ.
Well, at this point, I really didn't know, but I was looking at Sassy, and her lips kind of said to me 2, so I went with 2.
Muzzy.
How did my lips say 2?
I didn't know. I was just, I'm tweeting.
Sorry.
Her lips always say, "Come here, big boy," to me. I don't know. Perhaps I'm reading things wrong.
All right.
Chat's
Okay.
offering to trim the
That's-
bushes. So
Okay, gentlemen, that's the end of the quiz for tonight.
I put
He's
none.
going to be busy, so good night, guys.
Yeah, not everyone. I'm off to a private chat.
Yeah.
I put none. I think it's a trick question.
You put none. Right, Jack.
I put none.
Sassy.
I can't remember the question.
There has never been a King Philip, so 0.
The correct answer is 0.
Yay!
Fucking cat in
There
there.
has never been a king
I got some right.
Philip.
Is anyone else
Right.
excited that they might have more than 3 right this time this week?
Yes, I know.
Question 17.
I'm rubbing my pen, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah, you know, mate. All right.
Don't worry, you
Right.
can watch, Jack.
Right, okay. We're going to a BRB break.
I'm not done yet. Cows.
Yeah,
Question
cows.
17. How many stomachs does a cow have? Muzzy.
I think it's 4.
Jack.
I think it's 4.
DJ.
4.
Sassy.
I thought it was 4 or 5, so I went for 5.
The correct
Well, that's a bit of
answer
a kill.
is 4.
Ah.
Yes.
It is
Do we get
4.
a bonus point if we can name them?
No. No. No, you don't get.
Yeah, Samantha, David.
The farty one.
Right. Question 18. With which swimming stroke
18.
do Jack made you gonna have words, mate.
Sorry.
With which swimming stroke do races begin in the water?
Ian.
Yeah. With which swimming stroke do races begin in the water?
Ian.
Right. DJ.
DJ.
Muzzy.
I put breast for the obvious reasons.
Oh, of course you would. You absolutely. I knew you'd. I had a
Sorry,
feeling.
I am predictable.
Jack.
I put Oh Look a Penny.
Right. Sassy.
The backstroke, because they always go off like that, don't they? First.
If they dive in, they don't.
The correct answer is backstroke.
Ah.
Damn, I was going to put.
Oh,
Right.
Thank you for the raid, Carlo. Welcome, raiders.
Yeah, go on then. Do your bit, Mozzie.
Welcome to the Untitled
I'll
Chat
pause.
Show. We're in the middle of the quiz. We're just getting the answers now. I'm afraid you've missed the questions, but the VOD will be on later. And we will introduce ourselves properly once he's finished. We've only got 3 more answers, and then we'll introduce properly.
2.
But
2. I've done question 18. How am I?
no, you haven't.
18.
Oh, yes, you have.
What was
Yeah,
the
2.
answer?
2 answers.
Good
What was the
evening,
answer to
Carlo,
18,
mate.
Willie?
And good evening, Carlo. Can someone do a shout out for
Yeah,
Carlo, please?
good evening, Carlo, mate. Yes, of course I will. Yeah, because
Oh, yeah.
I like.
Because you're the mod.
You know what I mean?
Sorry,
I got it.
Willie. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, no, it's all right, mate. I'm sorted. You know what I mean? I'm
We'll
like,
do it together. We'll do it together. He needs to.
okay
He
then,
deserves it,
okay then. We'll do it together. Right.
What was the answer, Willie, to 18?
18.
Breast.
The question to 18 was backstroke, DJ.
Ah,
All right.
He was hoping for front stroke, but
Yeah, he
I
was.
don't think it matters what
I like
stroke.
any kind of stroke, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck it.
yeah, just work through the pain, don't you? It's
Right.
all good.
Question 19. Right. I'm going to post it again in chat because I cannot pronounce that word. Right.
What? 18.
Oh, I've got lots of mods.
No.
They're all here.
18.
You can't.
It's 18.
No, it's question 19. Question 18 was
I'm saying the
backstroke.
pronunciation is 18, not 18.
Oh, bollocks. I'm telling you anymore.
Bollocks, yeah, well deserved that, actually. I'll take
Yeah,
that.
bollocks. Shit the bed, mate. Tell you what. Question 19 is in the chat.
Yep.
Right. Mozzie.
Eh?
I put Prague.
Oh.
And actually, I put Prague for Carlo, and he's here now, so.
Right. I was going to say Carlo there. DJ.
Vienna.
What country?
Jack.
How is the Roman city? I put a no-fly zone.
Right.
Huh?
Sassy.
St. Albans.
Yeah. How is the Roman city of what? Velaluma?
Yeah.
Beryllium.
Rumor.
Beryllium.
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 All right. Say that again.
Beryllium.
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 Again, once more for a Geordie.
Beryllium.
Beryllium. Right. The correct answer is St. Albans.
St. Albans. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well,
What is the Roman city of Beryllium known today?
Did you
What
put
do
St.
I
Albans,
think?
Sassy?
Yes.
Fucking hell. We've been
I
trounced
like
here.
history. I like history. Can't blame me.
Well, and geography, and fucking about curtains, and about fucking
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't be
Beryllium.
smart.
I
Beautiful.
can't pronounce it now.
just showing me
Can't
up.
get it. Question 20, and your final question for this evening. Which city in the world has the largest population? DJ.
Tokyo.
Mozzie.
Beijing.
Jack.
Leicester.
Not anymore. They've all fucking died.
They were till yesterday,
Oh,
mate.
sorry, I went there.
Yeah.
I went there. I live in Leicester. All right.
Sassy.
Shanghai.
The correct answer is Shanghai.
Okay.
God, there's one this week. Can anybody
Right.
get answers in the chat, please?
Could you possibly answer? Could you add up all your correct answers, please,
That won't take long.
and show them to the stream? And then we will have a look. I know who the winner is.
Well, fucking
it's
obvious,
only
isn't
you,
it?
chat. You know what I mean? But it's just
6.
I
it's a
reckon
good
I've
one.
got a reasonable chance this week.
Have you? Oh, go on, DJ. Right. Mozzie has 6. DJ. No, Jack has 5. Mozzie has 7. And the winner of this quiz is Zara 16.
16.
That's a
16.
16.
Not
The
even
winner
a-
of the quiz this week, surprise, surprise,
It's the fucking guest
is
again.
the guest, Sassy,
with
with 16, who totally annihilated all the hosts.
and all the previous guests by the looks of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That concludes your quiz for this evening. Enjoy the rest of the stream.
Thank you very much, Willie.
Thank you, Willie.
Yeah.
That was good, and I really actually enjoyed that one. That was a
And
good mix.
Yeah.
Thank you, chat. That was some good answers in there. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
chat.
thank you, Willie.
Chat never
I
lets us
didn't
down.
improve that much on previous quizzes. Well, I don't know. Maybe I've doubled my score. But, you know, I enjoyed it. There was some good questions there, Willie.
I'm going to. I'm just going to grab a drink, guys. If you want to just say hello to Carlo again or something, I'll just be a sec.
Yes. Anyway, sorry. While we're doing the answers, we had a raid, and it was Mr. Kalitos Way Live. Thank you for the raid. Welcome to the raiders that have come in. How did the job go tonight? It's Friday, so I'm hoping it was profitable and worth doing. We know that Carlo is. It's a bit weird going on at the Uber because at the moment he's got some days that are still quite busy again, but some days are so dead it's actually not worth working because once he's paid the London congestion charges and fuel and stuff, it actually runs at a loss for the day. So yeah, I think what we're going to do is take a 2-minute break. And then we've got something rather special and something we've never done on this show before. And we're going to hand over to Sassy. So just give us a couple of minutes, guys, and we will be back. If I can get my mouse on the right screen.
Mhm.
And we're back in the room. Right, now we got something a little different. We all asked Sassy, who does some horoscopes, for a bit of fun, to do ours. So we've all handed over all of our personal details, including credit card numbers, national.
Yeah,
I don't know why she needed that, but
Can you
PayPal
pay
addresses.
off the overdraft, please, if you don't mind?
And she's
I
going to do
can't
our horoscopes.
get that fucking tape measure out, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So, Sassy, over to you.
Okay, so when I first started doing my streaming, astrology and tarot, because that's my passion, and I've been doing it since I was 14. So Mozzie said they were really interested in having their birth charts done and me reading them out on stream. So I'm just going to quickly talk about what a birth chart is. So basically, it's where all the planets were the minute you were. So most of you might know that you're sign that Aquarius, Pisces, Scorpio, etc. But what I'm going to explain is what individual planets mean and how actually the whole of your birth chart is what builds up your personality. For me personally, I believe that the astrology is almost like your base personality when you're born, and then obviously based on your upbringing, nature versus nurture, things like that. That's what obviously makes people who might be born on the same day have different personality traits. So your sun sign, which is where that's basically your ego, and that's your sense of self.
Oh, no.
So that's basically your identity.
Oh no! Oh God!
No.
Can I change my mind?
No, you asked for it. You asked for it.
Can I just leave now, please?
You're now looking at
like
4 uncomfortable hosts suddenly.
Who are you type thing.
Starts hacking Twitch. One second.
Sorry. Your moon sign basically is about your emotions. So there are 12 astrological signs, in case no one knows, and there's different types. There's earth, air, fire, water, and there's 3 signs in each of these elemental types. So for example, if someone had a moon sign in a fire sign, they might communicate in a really fiery, passionate, not think before they speak, whereas someone like me who has their moon sign in a water signs are emotional, so they'd communicate in a more emotional and feeling way. So it's basically about how are you open with your feelings like me? Are you emotional, or are you a more reserved person? That's sort of what the moon sign represents.
Right. Can I just interrupt a minute, Sassy?
Of course you can.
Have you ever seen 4 horses shitting themselves?
Suddenly looking really nervous.
You know what I mean?
Can I just ask, actually, that moon thing and the fire thing, is that not just lighting your farts?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, I thought fire. You know what I mean? So I've got to be fire, surely.
I think there is some fire in your chart.
Oh, see, there you go. Right, okay, over to you, Sassy, sorry.
We'll get to that. So then you've got Mercury, and that's basically the planet. So how do you communicate? Do you communicate in a fiery, passionate way, or do you communicate in a more logical way, like detached from feelings, which would be an earth sign? So that's sort of about how you process information and then how you talk to people. Venus is the planet of love, so that's about how you approach love, how you feel, what makes you feel loved, and it's your sense of self-worth. So you always look to your Venus sign, and it's very
I'm always looking at my Venus.
I bet you are. I bet you look at your Venus often.
Sassy.
Yes.
Trying to find it most of the time.
Have you got a filter on your microphone to cut out background noise?
Yes. I was going to say, you are getting a little bit of cutout, I've noticed.
Am I?
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's like to cut out background noise. Do you need to be a little closer, or do you?
Like that's like I'd have to be close like this.
Ooh, ASMR. Hey guys, another stream.
I'm glad that's
It's
happening to you guys because
Guys, it's bubble wrap.
Yeah. Go on, Sassy, move closer.
Move closer. I don't know.
Come on.
It's on your head.
Go on, move.
No, she's got a separate mic.
I'm joking.
That one's switched
Okay.
off.
Go on.
Is that better? Now I'm a bit closer.
Yeah.
Oh, closer.
Come on.
Go on.
Shut up,
Come on.
Willie.
We don't bite. Well, unless you want us to.
Go on, bit closer. Go on. Sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought you should have moved me, mate.
It's fine. So that's what your Venus sign is, and then finally, that's the interesting one because that's your fire and that's your passion. So that decides: are you really driven with work? Are you a passionate lover, or are you more sort of a logical feeling sort of type person? So that tells a lot about your sort of sexual prowess and things like that, which is why this is all going to get quite interesting.
Actually, I should
don't mind last.
I should have given Missy's details for this as well because she's quite a demonic lover, and apparently the police are after her in lots of different countries. So,
can you leave my last place? I'm worried now.
Yeah, you are lost, Willie. Best for last.
Oh, the best for last.
Oh God, Bennett, that makes it worse. Right, go on and carry on.
So I'm going to start off with Muzzy.
right, hang on then. I'm going to grab a quick top me wine.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Do I have to have a camera on for this?
No, it comes back.
Yeah.
So,
No,
Muzzy,
we asked
you're
for this. We're going to own this.
going to do it.
We are.
So
yeah.
you're a Pisces, as you may know. So Pisces are very changeable and adaptable. You're also like very open-minded and understanding. And Pisces is a very sensitive sign. Like I've got a lot of Pisces in my chart, even though it's not my sun sign, and that's what makes me very emotional because I have so much Pisces.
Agree so far.
It means
the car, but I realised I've been drinking, so I just come back.
so you may be sensitive to criticism
Yep.
and from other people, but and also have sense. You might be sensitive to other people's feelings, like very empathic in that way.
Yep.
And you're easily moved by sort of human suffering, and like as a rule, you wouldn't really hurt a fly because you're a very sort of empathic person. So that's sort of your sun sign, your ego, your sense of self. That's sort of who you are.
I agree with all of that. I know I'm a bit of a snowflake. These guys know well.
So then your moon sign, like how you feel and relate to stuff, is in Capricorn, and Capricorn's an earth sign. So the earth signs, they're always like they're not the most exciting of all signs, but they're the ones you can rely on. They're the ground that you stand on. They're the slow and steady sort of energy, that logical energy without necessarily the feeling. So where your moon sign is in Capricorn, it says, and this is just me, this is not the astrology, it says you have plenty of mood swings and some dark emotions now and again.
Yep. No, I agree with that.
It says you could be quite hard on yourself and would benefit from letting your guard down once in a while, reserved and cautious. You have a lot of that earthly energy, and you need to kind of recognize how you can open up a bit more to people.
No, I agree. Yep. None of this is a shock so far.
Okay. Good.
This is what annoys me about astrology. I almost don't want to believe it and just and then things like this happen. I'm sitting going, yep.
Well, I mean, it was interesting for me looking at charts earlier. I was like, I know things about you that I just didn't want to know.
Oh, shit in hell. Yeah, let's keep that one to a private chat, but yeah.
Well, some of it might be said on stream, but not much.
It's probably just going to happen, just saying.
Yeah, don't worry.
So your Mercury sign, how you communicate.
You've cut out.
Hello.
Oh, sorry, we missed a big chunk then of.
Oh, it's so annoying. Yeah, so your Mercury sign's in Aries. Surprise
Right.
for me, because Aries is a fire sign. It's the first sign in the zodiac. I always say the baby of the zodiac, because it's that very sort of forthright energy of, you know, I'm going to do what I want, and you know, like I said, it's the baby of the zodiac. It doesn't know about life, and it will have its little tantrums. So when it comes to communication, it says you like to make quick decisions.
Yep.
You may streamline learning. You can be direct and straightforward in your speech, but possessing an innocent charm. You can easily motivate others with enthusiasm. You love a heated debate. You have a lively mind that quickly understands any given situation. You're resourceful, capable, and may prefer to jump into a decision and may not have much patience with pretense.
No, I think that's about right. I mean, I think that's how I got into the jobs I got into management, was simply because of that, just assessing situations and quick thinking. And I get frustrated when other people aren't picking things up quite as quick as I am. And I'm talking more in the workplace at the moment. Yeah, I can't really disagree with that.
Yeah, no worries. And I'm sorry my mic keeps going. It only happens inside.
It's ironically, it's just cut out now, just as you apologised.
I was saying it only happens on Discord, so I don't know why.
Oh, DJ knows all about Discord mic problems.
You can give it in the settings. You can actually up its sort of internet usage. So saying.
Boost it a little bit.
Yeah, for future reference.
What, in voice and video?
Yeah. I just had a thought, you know, guys, we should have used my Discord all the time now because it's boosted.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure how let's have a look. It will be under.
How come your Discord's boosted?
Because I paid for it.
Oh, right, okay.
We can stream at high definition and better sound quality now.
Yeah, you can. There's some way you can actually give it more bitrate, and I can't remember where it is.
Well, we've done all right on the whole. It's just a little bit now.
Yeah.
Just on the time when we need Sassy's voice.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Scuffed, the Untitled Chat Show.
Yeah,
You
we're
know
still,
what I mean?
we're still learning.
What
exactly.
play-in for Discord get you then?
Higher quality streaming and video chats and things like that. And it isn't just me, because it's the server itself that's boosted. So anyone that's using it, Sap streamed on mine last night, and it way clearer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think you have to do it in your server actually, but yeah. Anyway, I think
we'll cap on because it hasn't been too.
Of course we will. We don't worry about this crap.
I'll tell you what you might want to do.
About that next week.
Yeah.
Voice and video. Scroll down and take off noise reduction, because I think that's what might be doing it. Noise reduction and echo cancellation. Tick them off.
So there's
The
noise
other thing that I did
suppression.
think, Multi, was the sound only happens when you turn Sassy up a bit on your OBS.
Oh, yeah. So perhaps if I turn it down a little bit. But I think if you turn them off, that might help. And I will.
What, the echo cancellation and.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'll bring your volume down a little bit again. See if that helps.
Yeah, because I am a bit of a.
Let's cut out again, and I've turned it down. Let's try.
Yeah, I don't know. I have been debating about sort of hangs over.
Has that made it worse?
Has it made it worse?
Cheers, nightmare. We love you loads, mate.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that better?
No, it's cutting out more.
Okay, I'll put it back on there. I'll just leave it the settings as they were.
Yeah.
Have you got anything else using it?
We can handle it.
Yeah.
Oh no, Jack, my internet. I've got this countryside true speed, and I get 800 megabyte upload and download. 800, 900.
Yeah, she's got fastest internet, really.
Yeah, so it's not mine.
Okay.
Which is good.
At the end of the day, Mozzie's looking for overtime, you know what I mean? He's doing his tech stuff now, you know what I mean? He just wants some overtime payment.
True.
So,
with Mozzie Venus sign, so how you love and how you approach love. So it says Venus and Aquarius people are attracted to the unusual or unconventional relationships. They don't want to follow the rules, although they may make quite a few rules of their own.
yeah, I think it's fair.
So, I'm an Aquarius, and, a lot of you know me well enough that I am a true hippie type, even though I've got a lot of Pisces in my chart. That obviously makes me emotional and stuff. I still have that. I hate being confined into, and if someone tells me not to do something, I will probably go and do it.
Rebel.
Like,
yeah.
So that's just the Aquarius way. And then your Mars sign, which is your passion, your drive, whether you're career driven, whether you're a passionate lover, etc., is in Capricorn as well, which is an earth sign. So that's probably one of the more least passionate signs, but it's that sort of steady, grounded energy. So it says that nature and you possess well-defined ambitions. Your anger is expressed in a rather cool, level-headed way, and your desires are strong, and they're centered around the physical and material world. And what that means is rather than simply expressing how you feel about someone, you're more likely to practically make a secure home, a secure person you love.
No, I think
in a practical way, rather than be lots of showy emotions and gifts and things like that. And it's the same with your sensual passion. It's expressed in that more practical way than the fiery sort of passionate way that the fire signs would.
Okay, I'd say the whole thing was probably about 90%, which is a good,
Yeah.
You've got everyone else scared though now. That's the
No,
Yeah,
there was nothing that I'm embarrassed about. I'll be honest with you.
I ain't scared.
No.
I ain't scared.
I'm just going to go down here a bit. Yeah.
I'm more relieved than scared, I think, now.
I've got a friend called Betsy that will come and get you if I don't agree with what you say. So,
well, so funny enough, we're on to you next, Jack.
Oh, okay. Let's do this.
Let's do it. So, your sun is in Gemini, which is
he's in his room.
What?
My son's in his room.
I
know it is. I've been to the loo earlier and I could hear him on his microphone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But your sun sign in astrology is in Gemini.
Okay.
Yeah. So Geminis are quite interesting because air signs like myself, we're very I want to say floaty, as in like we're not like thought processes, and you have all these great ideas, fairly practical steps to put them in place. So that's the sun sign's obviously your ego and sense of self. So with Gemini, it says your expression is strong. The natives are often just as interested in collecting information as they are in sharing it. Curious to a fault, Geminis have a finger in every pie.
Yeah.
You're flexible and changeable people. Most Geminis are. Your ability to adapt quickly to situations, plenty of friends and social contacts. Usually quite clever and witty, Geminis enjoy intellectual and are easily bored if they're not getting enough mental stimulation.
Yes.
But I mean, one of my close friends, very, this thought, that thought all the time. And it's just one of the great traits is, you have so much that you want to do and there's so little time. Always that kind of,
yes.
There's always that kind of, it's almost like a toddler, like you're doing one thing and then, I'm bored thing. So there's always like 50 half completed projects that you might have on the go.
Yeah, it's so right.
Yeah, that's why, you know, Gemini's so cool.
I'll just see what Sap's just written.
That's
Oh,
that's me.
good.
Thanks
Yeah.
for the bits, TJ.
No, I am the same. I've got so many projects on the go at the minute. And with work and stuff, I just don't have the time, and everything is sort of half-assed at the moment. I just can't complete it, you know. So it's true, yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, it's all right, because that's just, you know, at least you can go now, oh, it's my story, rather than feel bad about it. You can just use it as a scapegoat. So your moon sign, how you is in Shady Scorpio. I'm joking, Scorpios, I love you. Shady bastards. So,
Thank you for the host.
So Scorpios are they're water sign, and they're very, you know, the saying "still waters run deep" was pretty much written about a Scorpio. You know, they're obviously the symbol of it is the scorpion, so they're the type of sign that they won't hesitate to hurt themselves rather than admit to the person in front of them that they've hurt them. You know, they've got that sort of energy. So when it comes to feeling, it says you seek out emotional safety, no matter what. There is something very intense about you. You don't do things by halfway or have meaningless relationships because you don't find them fulfilling. You're courageous and brave and independent. You're attracted to sensual and erotic partners. So I'm just going to leave that out there.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, that's just you know, the Scorpio energy. But one of my favorite things is astrology memes, and there's always a joke around Valentine's Day was invented by Scorpios in order to make more Scorpios, because obviously a lot of people, you know, get knocked up around Valentine's Day, and then obviously by the time, so
most of my family are Scorpios.
Yeah, well now you know, was it? I've just opened your eyes. So yeah, there's always like in the astrological community, there's always an on-running joke about sort of, you know, Valentine's Day, this whole big Scorpio plot that was invented. So with the Mercury sign, which is obviously an earth sign, you know, slow and steady. It's the second sign in the zodiac. So where I said Aries baby, Taurus is the toddler, as in I want it my way or not at all. It's that very sort of, you think of the terrible, that's so in the way you communicate, it's to your ideas, unchangeable, quietly opinionated, persistent but discreet. You possess plenty of common sense, and simplicity makes it easy to get from point A to point B in few steps as possible.
Yeah.
But he's a little brat though at the same time. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. At least in the way he communicates. You know, so it might be, you know, in the way you communicate, it might be a case of you want your idea, if you're expressing an idea in a group that maybe you think your idea is the best one. It's like, well, you know, my idea is obviously the best one.
Well, it is. That's why.
You rest your case. Sassy rests her case.
And the defense rests. Yeah. Quite interestingly, your Venus sign, how you love, Gemini. So obviously that energy I was talking about, that's the same way that you love, as in, you know, when you're trying to win over the object of your affection, you do it by witty conversation, and you need a lover playful, because if you've got a lover and they're not keeping you like mentally stimulated all the time, then you'd get bored easily. And also you need space for friends and activities outside of the relationship, so you can't, you know, you don't want to be sort of boxed in. So that's sort of what the Gemini Venus represents in your chart.
Twitch family, guys. Just saying.
And finally, your Mars sign, which means you possess a strong need to create in some way, and you're determined that their lives not only have meaning but significant meaning. Passions run high and higher. this is one of the more sexual positions of Mars, because as I said, people with Mars in a fire sign are the most sort of passionate. So it says, while you're rather easy to arouse, their passion is long-standing. Mars and Leo natives enjoy sex more than most, as long as heavy doses of love and part of the package.
Yeah. Can I just say
you can go all night.
Thing, it's a bloke. Oh, a bloke.
Yeah.
I'm going to get aroused easy.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
People
But
just
you
going to
can
look at me. I mean, fuck it. You know.
But basically, that Sassy's just giving you a massive advert there that you're easily aroused but can go all night.
Do you know what? I honestly say that depends on the wine, really.
Yeah, probably. But I think that, yeah.
but the thing is, like, I've obviously the more I've got into astrology, and then as I've been dating, I've sort of noticed the connections, and I've noticed with men who have Venus in a sort of earth sign, that more slow and steady energy.
Yeah.
They will be very much like, they're the ones who don't message you for a while, and then they're like, oh, I'd be busy with work, and then you go off and go, okay, they're not interested, and then they come around and go,
can I just interrupt? You keep saying Venus, don't you?
Venus,
Venus.
Yeah, it's just
with a V.
it keeps saying sort of.
It sounds like penis, I know.
Yeah. That's all. I
Yeah,
just thought I was
Venus.
thinking. You know what I mean?
As in the planet of love, goddess
All right.
of love,
Okay.
Venus.
Right.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's about how you love.
All right.
I'm not talking about your penis, Willie.
All right. Okay.
I'm not talking about your willy.
That's fine. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Penis
DJ,
was just using
Here
the
we
same
go.
context.
I'm looking forward to this one.
are
I'm
you
looking
ready?
forward to
Are you
this
ready,
one.
DJ?
I'm going to
I
sit
am ready.
closer.
Wake
So,
up.
You're awake. So, like I said, you've got quite similar things to Mozzie. So you've got your sun sign in. So the same as Mozzie, it's you're changeable, adaptable, open-minded, have tremendous understanding. You're a sensitive and also can be sensitive to criticism, but you're also sensitive and empathic to other people's feelings. You get easily touched or upset by human suffering, and you wouldn't in general sort of hurt a fly. You're very sort of an empathic person, and that's your sun sign, your sort of ego, sense of self.
Yeah, no, I'm very much, love everyone.
Yeah. Your moon sign's in Leo, which is fire. So that's how you feel. So it says generally they have a deep need to treat others fairly and justly. In public, they prefer to take things in a dignified ways, but at home, they are given to big displays of emotional drama, selectively with friends, but you're selective with friends, but you're not overly influenced by them. But that's sort of about your emotions. You might put on a public persona, but behind closed doors, you feel like you can, let out your emotions in a big way, but you wouldn't necessarily do that like in a public place or maybe in front of people that you didn't know.
Yeah, and I think that's got a certain amount of trueness to it.
So your Mercury sign, so like we said, obviously Aquarius, like hippies of the zodiac. So the way you communicate is you're not necessarily loud, flamboyant, but you have a quiet way of stirring other people up, and you have amazing powers of observation. You have a kind of quirky, different way of looking at the world, and you like practical jokes and raising eyebrows and maybe saying things for shock value.
Yeah, definitely. I do see the world in a quirky, different angle. I'm sure it's an angle that no one else sees the world in. And as for practical jokes and, saying things for, a reaction, yeah, I think it's entertaining, isn't it? You're, at a family do or something, and, it's quite appropriate or inappropriate, should I say, to go, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've said that before.
So yeah, so you know, I'm glad some of it's ringing true. Good. For Venus, your Venus sign's in Aries. So, you know, like I said, Aries, fire sign, baby of the zodiac. So it says Venus and Aries people like to flirt by being upfront, direct, and even daring. They want to take the lead in love. They're loving the conquest and seeks to keep things exciting in love. Spontaneous and charming in this direct and straightforward approach to love. So
Interesting.
I told you it was going to get personal. I did warn you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
yeah. We
think,
signed up for this.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
agreed. Evening, Rob.
definitely like a good bit of loving and a good conquest or two.
Go on, son. Get it in there.
But yeah, I mean, Aries is, you know, if there was a single Aries, he would be the serial dater. Like, it takes a lot for an Aries to settle down, because the person he settles down with has to be someone who's constantly changing things and making it interesting. If they were just same and he knew that and knew how they would react in every situation, it'd get bored quite quickly. I should know because I love Aries and I've dated many of them. So yeah, that's the way it happens. So your Mars sign, like Mars Capricorn, which is that very slow and steady, sort of passionate energy, which I think, considering your Venus sign, is a good thing. In a fire sign, I think you would be very dangerous indeed. You'd have all this fire
I
sort of
think
going
at our
on.
age, everything's slow and steady, isn't it, DJ?
Yeah, nothing's going to go very quickly, you know, is it?
But so yeah, so it says you possess well-defined ambition. Your anger is expressed in a rather cool, level-headed way. You have strong desires, but they're the same as Mozzie. They're centered more around physical things, as in providing for your family in a practical way, rather than, you know, big flashy shows of emotion. And that's obviously how you express your passion.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. You know, I think for me, to be able to put a roof over the family's head and food on the table, I think is not way more important, but that's the thing that I would do rather than come home and, you know, have a group family hug. Mind you, I'm not averse to a group family hug.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just you know, it's, you know, like I said, part of the astrology is just, you know, it's somewhere, you know, the things I'm telling you is everyone can have the same things, but if you were brought up in a radically different way from someone who was born at the exact same time as you, you'd be completely different. But somewhere inside, you would still have that sort of base motivation and base desires.
Traits or similarities, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the perfect example is twins. You know, a set of twins, astrologically speaking, they have almost identical birth charts, but we all know that twins can be completely different from each other.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why I always say, like, you know, astrology, it's not necessarily like take it with a pinch of salt, but I would take it as like you're a computer, and when you were born, it's like your base memory, and then everything else is sort of built on top of it.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Willie, I've saved the
Can I-
best for last. Are you ready?
Can I leave?
There we go.
Can I just leave now,
No.
please?
Keep that fucking
No.
camera on.
No. Thanks for joining in chat. You know what I mean? It's been a great stream and everything. You know what I mean? Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
So, Willie, you are a lovely. So Libras are very peace loving. They Libras like to sit on the fence to the point where they get chafed, as in they don't like to upset people.
Is
They
this
like
the same boxer shorts or something? Because I keep getting irritation down here all the time.
Try washing it.
So yeah, like with Libras, you always like to. You don't want to upset anybody. If you're, say, in a workplace, there's two different factions of people disagreeing with each other, you'll probably be going to each faction going, oh yeah, I understand your, and you'll be telling them basically what they want to hear just to keep the peace, rather than pick a side.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because you just want everyone to be happy and get along.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. But obviously, to other people, it can come across in a sort of shady way, in a, like you're trying to play both sides off against each other. But it's never, with Libras, it's never a malicious way. It's just they don't like confrontation and they just keep peace. So that's where that comes from. With your moon sign, it's about your feelings, is in Aquarius as well. So you've all got a bit of Aquarius in you, which I realise sounds really wrong, but I'm going to move on. So this is how you feel. So Aquarius is extremely observant, but they also have an inner feeling. But I love you, Willie, so it's fine. They always feel like they don't quite fit in, and they feel like they're on the outside looking in. Moon and Aquarius natives often will deny the more irrational qualities of emotions, such as jealousy, possessiveness, and fear. And you almost sort of rise above those emotions that say other, like people will have jealousy and just snap into jealousy, whereas you may feel jealousy, but there's another way. You're almost detached from your emotions so that you can process them. But in some ways, maybe you feel like you can't share your feelings with anyone because you almost feel like outside of them. So I don't know if any of that's true, Willie. You're looking a bit worried.
Oh yes. No.
Okay.
Yeah. You definitely, you're on the right track. I'm not going to deny that. Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So Mercury, how you communicate, is in Scorpio. So it says you're extremely observant and astute. You're always reading between the lines, behind things. You're passionate in the way you talk, and you're excellent at strategy and a natural psychologist.
I can agree with that.
Yeah,
with Willie.
I'd go along with this.
Shit the bed, I'm leaving. Right, okay, lads. It's nice knowing you.
That's a good thing.
You are strategic. You are very, you do read between the lines. Yeah.
So Venus. Carry on, Willie.
I just want to say this is really scary, and I do want to leave.
But you've only got two more, and then
go on.
And then I'll stop ruining your life. So your Venus sign, how you love. So that's Venus, Venus.
Oh, yeah. Venus, right? Okay.
Yeah. Is in Virgo, which is an Earth sign. So it says you might not be the flirtatious sort, but you have a willingness to work on relationships. You're a great listener, and you have a habit to observe and learn all of the ins and outs of a partner. You're very devoted. You may not always show emotions, and you don't always let yourself go into those emotions.
Okay, now I'm definitely leaving.
Okay, but the reason you don't let go, or a fear of not being loved in return as much as they're loving another person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why.
Yeah.
But like I said, well, it's okay. We love you.
I know.
It's fine. We got you.
We got you back, Willie.
Yeah. And like I said, finally, your Mars sign is in Sagittarius, which is another fire sign. So it says, when Mars and Sagittarius people get angry, they feel like running away. They don't have a lot of patience to wait things out. They can be blunt with people, although if they have a more tactful Mercury placement, which you kind of not really, you got Scorpio, so not. That will be subdued. It says your direct and blunt approach is most obvious in bed. They are passionate lovers and are turned on by open mind and good humour.
Right. Okay. Good night, Chad.
So,
love you loads. Thanks, Sassy. It was really good. Really good talking to you. Okay. Bye now.
Yeah, we was warned. We all said, "Yep, just do it."
Yeah, just so chat are aware. I haven't did say this.
Yeah,
is
she
gonna
did
get,
ask us. She did ask
I
us
said it would get
for
really
permission.
personal. You know.
Oh yeah.
I think on a lot of things, more so with mine, you actually nailed it in the sense of a lot of things, you know.
Oh,
So
freaking hell.
It's almost scary, isn't it, when you hear it? Because
Yeah, I shit the bed, to be honest. Gordon Bennett, man.
So yeah.
I can't really believe how much that was true. To be honest, it's just
totally
it was
agree.
unreal.
Totally
and I
agree.
think,
But bear in mind, those are extracts that I've put together
yeah,
for the stream. I've sat there and looked at all of your charts
uh-huh.
and everything else that goes on, because there's transitions between planets and things like that. So
Yeah.
I was looking through your charts earlier, and I was like, it was almost like you're sort of rummaging through somebody's private house and their belongings. And I was like, do I want to know that Willie's a good lover? Like, do I want to know this information?
Well,
sort of.
What? But how long does that take if you were to sit and
we'll
look
talk
at that
after the stream,
information?
Sassy, okay? Sorry, Jack. Go on.
No,
I
I'm
didn't
just
hear the
wondering what it
question.
takes. How long does it take to go through, that information per person?
It depends how, like with this,
How the fuck do you know where the planets are?
well, they're in the sky.
Oh, okay.
So it's about it's about where they were when you're. So most astrologers, they don't tell you, but most astrologers, we all use an automated program. So you just put in a person's date of birth, and it will tell you where all the planets were when you were born, because it's 2020, it's technology.
Yeah,
But in the olden days, they used to plot it manually, as in pencil, paper,
star charts and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the thing is, there is so much information in the chart that some of it will ring true, but in some people's chart, there's stuff there saying, and just to be clear, this isn't in any of your saying when charts for friends. There's been things in their charts that said, like, you've had really bad relationship with your father in the past and blah, blah, blah. And then they've admitted, like, that they haven't had a good relationship, and it was on, but I was never told that. So there's really weird things in there, like, oh, you have a narcissistic mother who doesn't love you, who never gave you that nurturing love that you desired as a kid. And it's like, how can when I was born determine this? It's there's even some stuff in there that freaks me out, and I've been I've been sort of studying it since I was 14, so for a very long time now.
It is fascinating, and I think we were talking about this, Sassy, and I'm quite happy to say this on stream. So my parents are pagans; they're witches, and no, they don't fucking kill goats and shit like that. That's fucking Disney shit.
Yeah.
And my mum used to do tarot reading for in a proper paid for way, and I was always skeptical of it. And it's cool because with pagans and people like that, they're like, that's cool. You believe what you believe. You don't believe what you don't want to believe. It's no worries at all. And while I was still living in Kent, I'd come out of a sort of relationship and stuff, and I wasn't working then because the railway got, I'd finished. And a friend of mine, just a personal call, said, well, I'm in Leicester now. This is how I ended up in Leicester. If you want to change the scenery, I've got a spare room. There's work up here, because down in Kent, there just wasn't. Unless you want to work in Pfizer's or on the boats, there ain't a lot else. And he said, if you want to come up. And that was it. It was an off-the-cuff conversation. And I sat there and thought about it, just to myself, didn't mention it to anyone else. And I said to Mum, can I have a tarot reading? She was shocked. She was like, really? I didn't think you believe, I said, no, let's do this. I said, but I don't want to ask the question. And she said, can someone give Sprinter a link permit, please, if you don't mind? Well, and I said, well, I don't want to ask the question out loud. She goes, no, you don't have to. Because I was kind of semi-tested it as well, because bearing in mind my skeptical head. And so she got me to shuffle the cards, because obviously we're face-to-face, so we had to do this, and basically, I shuffled the cards and I thought, should I move? Should I move? And then she laid the cards out. She gave me a book on tarot. She said, there you go. So if you don't believe what I'm saying, you can look at these cards up yourself. And I sat there and she said, right, this is where, because tarots are, Sassy will know this, are done as 3 sections, aren't they? Like where you were, where you are now, and your future. And she said, this is where you were, blah, blah. This is what I brought us here. And I was thinking, well, yeah, but you're my mum, you know. But, you know, but she's explaining the cards. So that's why it says that. That's, you could look it up. And I was being very skeptical. Then she said, this is where you are now. Then she looked at the future and she went quiet. She said, when you going? And I went, fucking cold. Literally, all the hairs went up on my neck. I was like, how did you know? How the fuck did you know? That was the question. And she said, because it's this card, that you're traveling, you're moving away. And yeah, so, and I am quite skeptical of a lot of things, but
I mean, I've had that when I've done.
So you've cut out. So that last bit again. When you've done.
I did a tarot reading for a work colleague who I'd only been working with for a few weeks, and the same as yours, I did 3-card past, present, future reading, and he didn't want to tell me the question, but it became obvious that it was to do with a current relationship he was in that he was not happy in, and I sort of said, okay, he got the death card, which everyone thinks is the bad card.
Yeah, it doesn't actually mean what you think it means, does it?
But I mean, basically, that's an ending you see coming, as in you're in a bad relationship, so that relationship's going to end. You know, the job you've been in hasn't been performing well, so you know they're going to make redundancy, so you're probably going to be made redundant. It's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's also saying, even though this ending will happen, it's going to open the door for new opportunity. So I sort of said to him, you know, I can see this relationship has kind of run its course. You know, it is going to end, but your future card actually the best decision in the long run for the both of you. And then he sort of came to me a week and a half later and said, you know, you were spot on. I'd been with my partner for 8 years. He said, I'd already kind of decided that I was going to leave before the reading, but when you gave me the reading, it kind of, you know, it just sort of cemented it in some ways, that was the path to take.
No, brilliant. No, it is cool. It is interesting. I do find it interesting. But thank you so much for doing that. I know it takes some time in the background to do it. It's not like something you just knock up in 5 minutes. And I do appreciate.
No, same. It's you know, the effort and time you've put in to do that for us, and to sort of bring it to the show is really kind. You know, it's really good and very kind of you. Thank you.
No, it's like I said, it was interesting getting to know you better.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nice to have an insight as to what the stars and the moons and the planets hold or held.
But I think it's quite amusing because even the most skeptical of us, when you hear something like this, you do sit there and think, well, actually, that's not far off the truth. Or, you know, that, like you say, it's not going to be the exact replica because people's life experience and what happened to them will also play a major part in their personalities and things. But there's always something there where you think, well, actually, that's...
It's like a base thing, isn't it? Yeah, like you said. And yeah.
You install Windows when you're born, but it's all the other crap that gets installed on the top. That
exactly. Yeah. That's how I always class astrology, and that's why I always say to people, like, even though, you know, if you pick up a newspaper and you want to read your horoscope, that's great, but take it with a pinch of salt because it doesn't represent your whole chart. And I would say to people, if you want to look further into it, go to cafeastrology.com because you can put in your birth chart details and they will give you a personalized horoscope for free for every single day based on your personal birth chart. So it's a lot more accurate than what Mystic.
Okay, what I want to say, and I don't want to take anything away from horoscopes or stuff like that, but I remember back at school now, it was when, you know, I was maybe 15 or something, and for a few weeks, the science teacher did, I suppose it was like an experiment on are horoscopes true or not. So what he had done for a few weeks is cut out all the horoscopes of the newspaper, but only cut out the wording. So it didn't say Pisces, today your day's going to be, it was just your day's going to be X, Y, and Z. And he'd walk around the classroom and he'd go, this one's yours. Who are you? Oh, you're Scorpio. Oh, yeah, that one's yours. And he'd give them all out to people. And over the course of 3 weeks, I think the statements on each of those things were sort of so general that you could almost apply them to sort of lots of things in your life. Like it might say, you're going to be lucky in love, and you'd get a new girlfriend, or something you could relate to all of these things.
The popular Mystic Meg one is always like, love will find you to. So then you'll be there all day going, oh, your name starts with Al, is it you? You know, it's just,
Pisces will be lucky too. Yeah, but they also admitted, didn't they, a lot of newspapers, that they just fucking get whoever's not got any work that day to fucking write some shit so it's probably not. And they, well, let's be honest, we're talking about newspapers here. If I would still look out the window even if I'd read the weather on one, you know what I mean? I don't believe fucking anything that's in the newspaper. But I think also they are very generalised, aren't they? Because all you're saying is a Pisces or an Aquarius or something. They're not going for the time and date of birth and things like that.
Yeah,
no, it's just a generalisation.
Yeah, like if you read about Aquarius, because I'm an Aquarius, it will
Me too,
say
Carlo.
It will say I'm emotionally detached, that I'm not very open with my feelings, but anyone who knows me knows that I'm over sensitive, because actually I've got a lot of Pisces in my chart, so I'm classed as a water dominant because I've got so much water in my chart. I'm actually more of a water sign than I am my sun sign, and that's true of a lot of people. Like some people might have a lot of earth in their chart, but they might be a fire sign. So that's why it's always interesting to look at your whole chart rather
absolutely.
than sun sign.
And I think the more detail you're given, the more accurate it gets, isn't it? Because it isn't just a date of birth. Even if you know the time, and I know that from my parents, that it gets more and more, the more detail you can hand over on like time, date and everything.
Yeah, time, date, place of birth. It's all, it's all very very accurate.
Thank you again for that. That was good. I really enjoyed that, and that is something we've never attempted to do on this show or anything.
Yeah, definitely, it's definitely something different that we've. I mean, last week was different. This week's been different, and it's nice for the show to sort of change it up, and to bring something like this has been really good.
Yeah, I love this. Every streamer's different and brings something new to the party, and you've brought a lot to this party, and it's good because I think it's interesting for chat. It's interesting as a viewer, and it's interesting to be even hosting on this show to talk to all these different streamers. And me and you've got to know each other quite a lot. We chat a bit, but I think we've learned more about each other even on this show than you know what I mean. Just So what's the future hold for Sassy Sapphire, the streamer? I mean, any plans that you can tell us about? Any,
Well, I mean, obviously, like I said, I'm looking forward. I got the first pencil drawings of them today, so
that's the emotes,
the sub badge emotes. So I'm very excited about those. But I think this is just a general thing. I think a lot of people, when they hit affiliate, they then now say, okay, time to be a partner. And for me, I'm not necessarily on the path to being a partner, because I've become, since I got made affiliate 10 weeks ago, I've had ridiculous amount of growth and it's been amazing. But I also found it really overwhelming because it happened quite quickly. So I'm just trying to grow in a sort of natural way and not too fast. And I just want to keep putting smiles on people's faces with my BitBot and, rolling my truck and things like that.
And your personality. You haven't mentioned your personality. Your personality absolutely shines through.
Well, that's because I don't like talking about myself like that.
I know you might not, but I'm going to tell you, as a viewer of your channel, your personality is better than the BitBot or anything else. It's not the BitBot that's funny; it's your reaction that's funny. It's your talking. It's like.
It's the swearing and calling everybody cocksuckers and stuff for rolling me over. Oh, that sounded wrong. I meant rolling my truck over.
Clip
So
that. Clip that. No, but I'm going to say it because you never will. But it's your
No, I won't.
personality. It's your personality that actually is your channel and what makes your channel.
Thank you.
So,
but that's part of the problem as well. Is I still don't, because of the sepsis last year and everything. I lost a lot of my self-confidence and my self-belief. Like before that, I was part of drama groups. I've been doing acting since I was a teenager, and I'm used to being on stage. And so to go from that person now, I feel very much more like in myself. Like I don't feel as outgoing as I used to be. So Twitch is kind of my journey to get myself back to where I am. And I can tell you one thing I am working on currently, an ebook to help streamers who by using my acting tips who about presenting themselves on camera and how to deal with talking to chat and things like that, because it's not something that naturally comes to people. So I'm just working on a kind of quick tips ebook, which hopefully will be out soon.
No, because I was going to. Funny, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to bring up that because you've told me you've come from a amateur dramatics type background as well. So, you know, you do apply these techniques to your stream as well.
Yeah, like I was never nervous about being. I've had bad mental health days and crying 10 minutes before the camera, like a proper actress. I can then just sort of switch it up, put on the show, you know, because that I've always had that mentality of the show must go on type thing. But as an actor, the hardest thing about Twitch is you're being yourself. So in some ways, I've created Sassy as a character because it's been my way to slightly detach from myself.
Yeah.
If I get any negative comments, I can go, oh, those comments are about Sassy, not me. Like it's just been my way to just create a little bit of distance. And I kind of talk about that in the ebook. Like it might not work for everyone. Some people might look at it and go, oh, you're taking this too seriously. But with the amount of streamers who are suffering with mental health, the popular streamers, like there was another female streamer this week who committed suicide. You know, it's something, there has to be a way that we can all do this and grow an audience and not let the toxic elements affect us in our personal life.
Exactly, but there will always be toxic people. There's always been toxic people out there, and unfortunately, social media of every platform is giving them a platform to spread toxicity and then try and claim it as being freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And that always winds me up. And it's like, no, you're just being a cunt. Excuse my language, but
I totally agree, Mozzie.
I think for me, the worst troll thing that ever happened to me is obviously, you know, Mini Sassy. I never have her on camera. Sometimes people will hear her voice as she's asking me questions. Yeah. And I once had a guy come in my chat and said, I wonder what it would be like to slit her throat. And I was absolutely fuming. I was proper mama bear. And you know what? I reported it to Twitch, never heard anything back. I got the automated response and that was it. Obviously, I banned them and stuff, but that is part of the problem, is that things like that are not taken seriously enough. For me, that's
and guys,
against a child.
I'm going to step up now and say that's why Blackout Wednesday was originally planned, for that, not for Sassy, but for that exact type of fucking thing that's been going on. We do not feel that we're getting support from the platform.
No.
Yeah. Exactly.
Honestly, at Twitch, if my channel gets fucking banned for coming out with that, so be it. But that was the reason, the original reason. It got hijacked a bit. That was the problem. But that was the original reason, the idea of that Blackout Wednesday come out, to try and tell Twitch, fucking help us, protect us, look after us.
Yeah, because I do feel there is more they can do. Like sometimes I've been in a partner stream and you have Twitch staff who do the rounds in a partner stream. Now, my point is, why can't Twitch, I know there's obviously only a limited number of stuff, but it'd be really helpful if they randomly would go into maybe smaller streams, and maybe if they know someone's made a report about trolls, maybe go into that stream and just sort of have a check that everything's all right. Like,
you're not telling me if you name drop somebody for doing something like that, they can't look at their chat logs or look
of
through
course
what
they
they're
can.
doing. Of course they can.
Fuck
Yeah,
it, I
exactly.
can. I know a way of doing it.
But in that situation, I took what they said, and I sent them the screenshot, the username, and then obviously I banned them. So it was like they had all the evidence. But as you can imagine, I was raging.
You know, next time, if that happens again, don't screenshot it the same, send it to and then put it on Twitch Support's Twitter page.
Yeah, screenshot on Twitter, on their support page, because it's fucking public then.
It's public. Everybody can see it, and they will have to take notice.
Because if they don't, everyone sees that they haven't taken notice.
I mean, touch wood, I had to put my chat on chat for, which did affect people coming into my stream, because people, there's this kind of snobbery of, they feel like if you've got follower only chat on, then you're not a streamer they want to be associated with. And I'm part of a Twitch streamer Facebook group, and I actually went in there and said, well, no, actually, my daughter was physically threatened. I keep having trolls, and this was my only way to keep them out. And it was a really hard thing for me to take it off. But I haven't really had any trolls. If I do, I thought I need to approach this like I would a play. So I have rehearsed lines now that I will say if someone comes in and trolls me. But pretty much I'll try and ignore them and ban them straight away, and don't even let it affect the stream.
Mm-hmm. They want a reaction. They want a reaction from the streamer.
Give them a reaction.
Don't give them what they want. Sprinter, I know some streamers streamed on Black Wednesday, and I have no issue with that. I'm a big believer in freedom of doing what you want to do and for the best. There was, unfortunately, Blackout Wednesday started out as a genuine cause that I could get behind, but unfortunately then got hijacked in ways that I didn't agree with. And when I heard talk of trolling actively streamers that were streaming on that, well, surely that fucking goes exactly against what you're supposed to be protesting against. You're actually doing why. So, and I think it's freedom of choice.
Not everybody's on social media. Not everybody uses Twitter.
Not everyone knew about it.
So some poor sod might get trolled by people for streaming, and they knew nothing about it because they just get up and do their stream. They don't necessarily do the social media thing because, let's face it, not everybody's into that kind of crap.
I don't do Twitter much because of how toxic it is.
I don't really. I don't do any of it, to be honest.
No, because it's pretty toxic.
I only know because I was talking to another streamer who told me about it.
Yeah.
If I'd not dropped in that stream, I would not have known anything about it. So
no, exactly.
The thing is, like, my mental health chat show's on a Wednesday, and I had to message Owen and say, look, even if we streamed for the right reasons, there are people on that day who are going to be purposely looking right. They've purposely said, if I see you, I'm going to blacklist you to my whole community and the whole Twitch community. So obviously we made the decision not to stream because I said it's just a fight I don't want to have.
Yeah,
exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
I was like, I don't have the energy to sit here and justify myself.
Yeah,
and possibly lose out. You know, because people will always think negative of you. Like, you can't change what people think about you, but I think in some ways you can protect yourself.
Yeah. Me and Jack made the same decision. Basically, we said, regardless of whether we support it or not, I can't be asked to have the fights.
Yeah, exactly.
I just can't be asked to do this.
Can't be doing with it.
Yeah.
So
sorry, Mike, I'm not going down the road of the BLM stuff. I'm just not doing that on my channel. I appreciate what you're saying, but I'm just not going down that road. We don't do politics per se or religion.
No.
Sorry, but yeah.
Views on that, my views, and that's it. My views alone.
Yeah, exactly. We've all got our own beliefs and views, and they're all as valid as each other. So, but yeah, I totally agree with what you said there and the sentiments of it. And unfortunately, Toxicity is going to happen.
Yeah.
Always.
These
Always.
people are, you know, and I think, how are you surviving in life? I mean, you know, before I've had people not come at me at Twitter like that, but on other platforms, and the keyboard warriors, and I've gone, yeah, you wouldn't say that to my face.
Yeah.
If you come up and if you spoke to people to their face, like you're speaking to people on here, you'd be 6 foot under by now, because you'd say it to the wrong person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who would kick your ass? You know what I mean? But there. Anyway, I don't want to go to the negative side.
No.
We've let's face it. When it comes to Twitch, there is a damn sight more positive than there is negative. Look at the people on this stream. Look at the people in chat. You know, we've all got fantastic communities, and that's what keeps us coming. So, do you think you'll expand out to other platforms more then, like your YouTube and things like that? I mean, is that?
Yeah, YouTube is the thing that I'm trying to get a handle on. My problem with it at the moment, say I took my original plan was I'm gonna get some more video editing done. I'm gonna do some more stuff on camera like this, just videos. I've literally done nothing. But what I have done is I've spent more time with me and Minnie and just had a bit relaxed time. So it's hard because for YouTube, there's much, because you're just posting a video on there, there's actually so much editing and the recording you have to do in the background.
Oh God, yeah.
So for me, it's finding the time to do that. And it's hard when Minnie's home because the house isn't necessarily quiet for me to do audio recordings. So it's almost like I have to do the video part first, and then I can add the voiceover like later, which is separate from the audio. But then I'm still stuck because I'm still kind of like most streamers. I started out doing tarot and astrology, just chatting, and my mental health. And I now do Euro trucks and my mental health. And I've got a Patreon page that I've set up, but I'm still figuring out, do I make my YouTube about tarot? Do I make it, you know what I mean? I've got a lot of ideas, and like, you know, I've got all these ideas, but I haven't kind of grounded anything yet. And yeah.
Well, whatever the future brings, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And I don't know about you guys, it's 25-1 now. I think we're ready to wrap up.
I think I'm getting ready, guys. Yeah, it's been a long day.
And I just want to thank
this morning.
DJ, Jack, Willie for the hosting. The quiz I think it's the best one yet this week. I really enjoyed that. It wasn't that I did so well, but I just enjoyed the questions. Sassy, thank you. You've been an amazing guest, and hopefully one day you might come back and give us updates on what you've been up to. Yeah. I hope we haven't scared you off too much.
No. I'm happy to come back.
Well, we were the ones that were scared off.
Yeah, it was quite. Yeah, how to turn it round. We usually have the guests that are quite nervous, and then suddenly it was flicked, and we're all sitting there like, oh shit. And of course, a massive big thank you to the chat, because the chat is always awesome on this show, no matter who's hosting it. The chat is always fucking brilliant, and I love you guys a lot.
And can I just say thank you to everyone in chat who said positive things to me, and say thank you. I have read all your comments that you've tagged me in, so thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Yeah,
it was brilliant. You get a lot of love from this chat. Please, if you're not following Sassy Sapphire already, do so.
Yes, please do.
Honestly,
absolutely.
If you're thinking of learning Euro Truck Simulator, go there and you will learn how to drive those trucks.
How not to drive.
Can I just say, there's a possibility there might be some golf going on tomorrow night, just saying. So just keep an eye out for that.
Oh my God, we're not going this.
Just saying,
last week, Jack.
I thought we might be getting Gabba in as well, and anybody else who wants to join. So,
and Nightmare.
I want to get Nightmare on that. Yeah,
sure. Definitely. Exactly. We'll be doing another Wreckfest session very, very soon. So anyone that's got Wreckfest, you can come and smash the shit out of us. You can smash our back doors in on a game.
I was going to say ending game, yeah.
So plans for tomorrow, because there's a lot going on tomorrow.
There is.
Gabba's got his 1,000 fucking followers, 1,000 follower celebration stream, and he's going to be doing like 16 hours driving Euro truck tomorrow.
Wow.
I'm going to go and join him for a bit. My new steering wheel arrives tomorrow.
Well.
So I'll be setting up as soon as it arrives. I bet it don't turn up till 9 o'clock at night or something stupid. But the steering wheel arrives tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm going to join for that a bit. DJ, do you want to tell us?
As well.
Yeah, cool. And DJ, do you want to tell us what you're up to tomorrow? Because you've got something going on.
Is he still awake? Are you still awake?
Yeah, no, I'm still awake. I'm still here. In October last year, I took the stream over to Middle Farm, and we pressed about 9 boxes of apples into apple juice. So I've got currently sitting in my hallway, I think 20, 40, 50, about 55 litres of cider, I'm hoping. What I want to do tomorrow is I'm going to be siphoning it out of the bottle, filtering it into a container that I can drink from, siphoning the others out and putting them into sterilised containers so that they're just ready to decant and drink. I'm going to be doing roast pork, apple and raspberry turnovers, and getting slowly sloshed during the day, I think.
No, what you're supposed to be doing, DJ, was sending it to us so that we could
check
on one of the chat shows one night.
Oh, come on, DJ.
I will be doing that also. So
you will.
If you guys can get your addresses over to me.
Well, you got mine.
I have, but I don't know what I did with it. It might be on the old.
Ask Innovic. He knows where we all live.
But apparently you were delivering me
Sorry,
you were going to send me a 5-gallon drum, weren't you, DJ?
Yeah, 5-gallon drum.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I thought that's what
you're talking Nightmare's language now. 20 litres of cider sounds good to him.
Right. Also, I'd just like to say, Nightmare hopefully is trying to do a fishing stream tomorrow.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. We've got an action pack. I'll have all the tabs open.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have about 20 pages open.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be so busy, it's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, because you mod half these channels.
Yeah, well, and do broadcasters, please.
More than half. I think I might stream tomorrow as well.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Cheers.
I think I will as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think Nightmare's going to try and Nightmare's going to try and get a fishing stream in tomorrow.
And I've made a little film as well, so that as we go through the day, we can watch the actual cider making.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks, Nightmare, mate. Yeah, my computer will be in meltdown. For God's sake.
So, Willie, what's your plans for tomorrow or the weekend? You got anything?
I've got no plans, mate. Honestly, I'm going to be stuck in front of the computer screen all day.
Golf?
You're going to play golf with us tomorrow night?
Oh, yeah, I'd golf tomorrow night.
Golf tomorrow night?
Oh, my good God.
Sassy, when's your next stream? When are you back live?
Yeah, night, guys. Love you loads. Bye.
He's got to get some sleep. What any plans? When's your next streams? What you up to?
I'm back on Monday, 7 p.m. Streaming Euro Truck single player, and mainly I mod for the Titan. So normally he does an all-day stream on Saturday, but he's doing that on Sunday, and every Sunday night he does a games night with Jackbox party games.
Oh, I've seen that game.
Honestly, you know what? So we're all highly inappropriate, and it's the best night of the week. And my mum does a roast every Sunday, even if there's a heat wave. So we're normally just around my mum's Sunday day. But
we have a roast no matter what the weather.
Yeah, well the thing is, because I've got a mod for him, I take my laptop and have the headphones in if I'm having to mod.
Jack,
it's also a good way.
What's your plans for this weekend, Jack? Streams or anything?
Well, yeah, obviously it's tomorrow night. I'm going to try and jump in with Gabba at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to go and join that convoy.
Yeah, definitely.
Apart from that, no, not much else really sort of concrete in regards to online activity. So the rest of it will be just home stuff.
Okay.
So
Why?
Right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. And
Right.
everybody, thank you for being here. Now, Sassy, we always ask the guests now, pick someone to raid. Is there someone on live right now that you would love to raid? We will raid them. Chat, please hang around, jump in the raid, spam the shit out of them with emotes, and don't forget to tell them the Untitled Chat Show sent them there, and Sassy was the actual person that made the
I
decision.
think the only person I can see will be Wipeout.
We can raid
Yay.
Wipeouts.
Oh,
It's a bit
serious?
scuffed,
No,
but
sorry. No, go on.
he'll love it. He'll love it. Well, we got what I've got Wipeouts and 2 mins for Ruffin. I've got the 2 that I've got.
Oh,
and
see, 2 months for Ruffin, see.
yeah, it's his
Oh,
birthday stream, but it is the guest's
Yeah,
choice.
exactly. Yeah.
If you want to go to 2 mins, that's fine.
No, George.
No, it's your choice.
George.
You make the
No,
choice.
George, go on. You've already picked Wave out, so unfortunately, Chad.
Sorry, you're gonna have to put up with that
off.
scuffed streamer. He's playing.
Yeah.
He's playing.
We're gonna go for Wipeouts.
Yeah, we're gonna do a shout out to Wipeouts, and obviously don't forget to tell him that the Untitled Chat Show sent you here, and it was Sassy that sent us ultimately. Okay.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I think Sassy, as I do this, I want you to do your sign off in just 1 second.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Let me know when you want me to do my sign
Yeah,
off.
I'm just making. I can't. Why can't people spell their names properly? It sounds looks like a freaking password with numbers instead of letters and shit.
Oh, at the end of the day, you do the quiz show shit. You're gonna do everything else. You know what I mean, mate?
Right, I'm going to. Do you know what I'm going to do quickly? I'm going to go to his channel and copy and paste his name to make sure I get it right. I'm always worried about raiding the wrong fucking person. Right.
I just want to say thank you to everybody as well. Thank you to
Chad.
Thanks,
Chad.
Thank you to Willie.
Sticking around, it's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I want to say a big thank you to everyone as well. So come back next week.
Please,
DJ
please come
channel.
back next week. It's a DJ channel. Please come back next week.
Yeah.
And right, I am ready to hit the button, so go for it, Sassy.
So thank you all for being here, and remember, Sassy's the word.
Thank you, guys.
See you later, guys.
Bye, guys.
We're out.
Right, Sassy.